2, let's go! All right, what's up, everybody? I am Super Viper T302. Before we get started, let's do a quick roll call.
I'm Spike Vegeta.
I'm the Sludgy Gamer.
I'm Mutant Abyss.
All right, and let's just go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go! All right, so as is the nature with Super Mario Galaxy Speed games, we start off with like a couple minutes of intro, and it's all TD, and we're gonna start with introducing the main movement of this game, which is just long jumping. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just run forward, crouch, and jump.
If you've seen the superior Super Mario Galaxy 1, you will know the general movement.
We have no bias here on this couch. I'm like one of the few people who's actually pretty split. I love both these games.
They're both pretty good.
All right, so within a minute of the game's story, we're introduced to this little Luma guy, and he's going to go into Mario's hat and give us the ability to spin. And spinning basically lets us do everything in this game. We can, hit switches, we can break open stuff, we can kill enemies, we can take launch stars, we can gain more height from jumps. You basically can't beat the game without it.
And you also go into like every single mode of transportation in the whole game with spin.
Yeah. So here's the first trick of the run coming up here. Oh, I kind of got it. So if you time a jump properly there, you can get a small little boost of speed when jumping off the edge of that slope there. You only have a few frames to time that, but I'll go for a couple more of those later in the run. All right, so but while we're in this little cutscene here, I do really quickly want to give a huge shout out to Nemi43, who is the current world record holder for this category. He came back to this game in earlier this year and managed to get a new world record of a 3:00:23. My PB is currently a 3:02:21. I'm third place. And he brought a ton of new strats and optimizations to the table that we didn't even know existed. And so I'm going to try to show off as many of them as I can. In addition to that, there's also a new route that's been proposed by several other people in the Galaxy community, which I'll be trying to show off as well. So this is going to be a huge upgrade from the last time this game was shown at HEDQ 2017. You're going to get to see, hopefully, a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, big shout outs to Nemi, who's been running this game for, I'm pretty sure, about 50 years. So
He's a god.
All right, so right here, there's potential for a small text skip I could get here. I'm not really going to go for it, but we'll see what happens. So on this set of 4 text boxes, if you're slow on these first 2, I didn't get it. If you're slow on the first 2 and then get the third one frame perfect, you can skip the 4th one, but it's frame perfect against 60 FPS, not really worth it. And with that, we're going to be heading off to the first level of the run, Sky Station 1. And whenever there's a clear star on the screen for these star select screens, I'm just going to point my remote off screen and mash A, and that will allow me to auto-select it right there. So this is a pretty action-packed star right from the get-go.
yeah, right off the bat, they want you to move around. I think you go into a pipe or something. I don't know. Nintendo lets you get creative with your platforming here. So instantly can just long jump at it, spin, that kind of refunds your ability to get a wall kick, and then you can jump off of it.
Right there, if you don't move after the Luma talks to you, then the camera doesn't pan back to Mario, and then you can spin right into the launch star without having to wait, so it saves like half a second-ish.
All right, and Viper's going to be going for a trick right here. He's first of all just going to catch barely the very bottom tip of that platform. And he's going to go for a homing ground pound right here.
Got it.
You got it?
Let's go.
So if you spin and then ground pound right away, it homes in on enemies and items and stuff, and if you get backwards momentum, you move really fast.
That always saves 1 second, and if you fail it, you die.
But man, it looks cool.
Yeah, worth it.
Nice save also right there. So right there, he just picked up a Comet Medal. We're going to be wanting to collect a bunch of those throughout the rest of the run, and there is 1 in each level. We'll get more into what each of those are, what those lead to throughout the run.
Yeah. And as I said, backwards momentum is superior to forwards momentum, so you can do stuff like that, but I accidentally changed my camera there. So here is coming up to the first fight of the run, Pee-wee Piranha. So you're intended to spin a Pee-wee Piranha's shell about 2 or 3 times and then break it, but you can just ground pound the whole thing once and shatter the shell instantly.
Yeah, you kind of want to hit it basically in the jugular, right in the neck. So bait it out. Yo, nice first hit right there.
Yeah, that first hit's actually pretty difficult to get. This second hit's easier because he runs away slower.
You can actually soft lock on this fight by shooting star bits at him after you hit him or something.
We just did a practice run of this. You guys have told me like 15 ways you can soft lock this video game.
No, but it's okay. It won't happen.
Yeah, and it didn't happen there, so we're good.
The game auto saves. It's fine.
And that's the first star out of 71. So to kind of explain how this run works, we need to collect 70 stars in order to unlock the final level, Bowser's Galaxy Generator. And then from there, we also get a star to actually complete the game. So it's a 71-star run if you must.
Also very nice that this game, unlike Mario Galaxy 1, actually gives you that IL, that individual level timer in the bottom right corner. So you can automatically, like if you want to get into running this game, you can kind of get a good comparison for how you're doing compared to like top times or intermediate times.
Yeah, so this is this fat purple idiot that's on my screen right now. His name is Lubba.
Don't be mean to Lubba.
But we're going to call him
Lubba is
Purple
great.
Idiot because that's what he is. This basically the story here, I'm just kind of skimming through this text here, but basically they ran into Bowser. This is a little sob story about how they ran into Bowser and he took all their stars. So now they're on this little crummy little spaceship, and he's going to use the power of this one star to transform this into the hub world called Starship Mario. And it's a spaceship in Mario's face, shaped like Mario's face.
Spaceship.
Yeah. And so
I just stole the joke. I didn't even
tickled
come
me a
up
lot.
with that.
so
Late night crew, let's go. All right.
yeah, we're not going to spend too much time here. We're just going to backflip to the helm because this yellow button is what we're going to take to get to this Super Mario Bros. 3-esque world map, and that's how we're going to get from galaxy to galaxy.
Yeah, you move around a lot quicker between galaxies in this game compared to the first game. This is the world map.
That being said, though, this game does still have a lot of downtime. There's usually anywhere from like 45 to 60 seconds between stars. So, that's what part of what makes this run so long.
So be ready on donations between stars.
Yeah. So we're actually, instead of going to Yoshi Star, we're just going to go straight to Sky Station 2. And this star isn't nearly as flashy as Sky Station 1, but should still be an interesting watch for sure. All right. So at the start here, there's going to be a little skip where I long jump over the fence to get to the lower half of the planet early. And I'm going to try to catch a little chomp cycle here. And it's pretty tight, but hopefully I'll be able to get it.
There's immediately kind of the unsung difficulty I find about the Galaxy games is just understanding, because gravity's obviously changing all the time. Nice job grabbing that cycle right there on that key. It's understanding just what angles you need to run at to get optimal movement all over the place.
That was not optimal.
Because of the gravity. Right there, single jumps are actually a little faster when you go over those little curves, as opposed to doing a long jump where you actually start losing momentum at some point.
All right, this planet is pretty tricky because you need to have pretty good movement in order to make the optimal platform cycle here, and you can lose a lot of time if you miss the cycle. So right when I get inside here is when it's really going to matter. I tried to spin with the nunchuck there and didn't. Hey. All right.
You got an extra life.
Hello. What the? There we go.
That's
First
never
try.
happened before.
Yeah, so obviously a lot of motion controls in this game, so if your sensor bar decides to hate you, yeah, you're in for a fun time.
Optimal cycle.
Yeah, nice. Improv your way in.
Here's the first instance of flip switches, so you just kind of step on all of these and you can make something happen. In this case, another pair of flip switches. And here's Cosmic Coins. These guys are annoying, and you'll see them a lot throughout the run. They basically copy Mario's every movement, and they make backtracking really hard. Right here, I'm going to be spinning. I'm going to try to spin onto this little flip switch here, and I didn't really get it. That's a strat Nemi came up with. It's my little optimization there.
It kind of lifts Mario up, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah.
Just enough to make the step.
Makes the
All right, this
hitbox
last planet
better.
is pretty self-explanatory, so do either of you want to go ahead and explain landing cancels?
Yeah, I mean, sure, landing cancels is a very minor piece of tech where it's available in both Galaxy 1 and 2. But whenever you've gone from a launch star and you land on a planet, you can actually go into first person on many of them at least and actually cancel out the little animation of Mario landing, hence a landing cancel. It allows you to move just a little bit faster each time.
Yeah.
So there's a variant of that you'll see me go for at the start of most stars where I'm going to try to jump on the frame that I land. But again, that's frame perfect in 60 FPS, so the likelihood that I get that more than like 5 times is pretty unlikely.
Landing cancels save very little time each time, but because there's so many launch stars that it saves like definitely over a minute throughout the whole run.
So you can go ahead and fire 1 or 2 quick donations.
Alrighty, got $25 from Danny G. Greetings from the back couch. I'm so thrilled that Viper's representing the Super Mario speedrunning community with an SMG2 run. Good luck, Vipers. Say hi to the purple idiot for me.
Hi, Lubba.
Hi, Lava.
Lubba's better than Rosalina.
I agree.
All right, so this is Yoshi Star
I'm
Galaxy,
hurt.
and Yoshi is the most broken thing in this game. So any of you want to go ahead and clarify on that?
Yoshi can infinite flutter. Big surprise.
Good explanation.
Yeah, there's, I mean, any of you guys who have played a game with Yoshi and has a little flutter, and for whatever reason, if you like crouch on his back, that refunds his ability to do the flutter. So you can just do it over and over and over and over again. But you have to have a really good rhythm the whole time, and you have to find like correct angles to go at. You have to like almost go back and to the left or right for it to work. This is one of the hardest Yoshi flutters in the entire run. Would save him about 20 seconds. You can tell, you're only supposed to do it like twice. I'll shut up and let him get to focus here.
Yeah. So I'm going to go for a skip here. That saves about 20 seconds, and if you die, you lose about 45. All right, serious time. I still made that.
That is disgustingly hard. He has to get the bounce off of that fruit. And we're going to talk about it so many times throughout the run, but there's so many little nuances to what makes Yoshi fluttering so interesting and so hard. After about 10 seconds in the air, you start to lose basically all your momentum from your Yoshi flutter. Right now, going to implement more Yoshi flutters to actually get some vertical movement right here, skipping over all these platforms and just being able to get up to these flowers. Let's see if we can get the tongue around the corner. Unfortunate.
Yeah, that can be pretty difficult to reach.
Yoshi's tongue is so bad. Sometimes it just doesn't lock.
And because we're angry at him, as with any game with Yoshi,
Bye, Yoshi.
Really good job on the flutters there.
Yeah, most infinite flutters, once you get the rhythm down, is really just about learning the angles, and that flutter is pretty difficult. And one thing that makes flutters really difficult is if you're in the air for longer than 10 seconds, you lose basically all of your speed, and you're reduced to like a very slow crawl, which is why I dismounted off of Yoshi at the end of that flutter, so that I could maintain a little bit of that extra momentum and make it into the gravity field of that planet.
Thankfully, once you kind of launch off of the back of Yoshi, you actually still have a lot of momentum going in that direction, so it's a way to get that extra distance.
All right.
So there's another Yoshi flutter at the beginning of this level. Instead of skipping the middle of the level, you skip the entire level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to go from the first planet to the final boss of this level.
Yeah, not the game.
Not the
Yes.
game.
We're going to Bowser right now. We're coming very far under estimate.
Yeah, whole entire game skip. Yeah, this infinite flutter is less complicated than the first one, but the angles are a little awkward, and also there's a bit of an awkward camera change midway through.
Yeah. There's a camera change that you can't control at all. So he's going to have to then change his angle to actually be able to make Yoshi keep that momentum. He's going for an aggressive strat here. Let's see if he can get it.
Looks good.
Beautiful stuff right there. A pretty common beginner strat for that is you can actually ditch off of Yoshi and just pick up a different one right there. The fact that he carried him the entire way from the starting position, really good stuff.
All right, so this boss is terrible. Giga like G2.
You just shoot the Spinies back.
But it's pointer based, so it's automatically terrible. All right, while I'm waiting here, I'm gonna go ahead and go down here and grab this checkpoint just to be safe. And I'm gonna try to show off a cool little glitch here. Come on. Come on.
Oh no.
Oh, I didn't get it. If you uncrouch and spin on the same frame, you can get Yoshi in this weird little sliding state.
So right here, he's trying to both shoot one and prep another one. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
One got in the way.
That little crystal got in the way there, so I wasn't able to do that strat properly. It's fine. There's a pretty easy backup. So I'm just going to kind of sit at the front here and wait for Giga like G2 to throw a couple Spinies at me.
Yeah, this will only lose him a couple of seconds. Because they'll give you this.
Oh, no!
Oh.
That's so horrible.
But we hit the checkpoint.
You got the checkpoint.
Yeah, I have to redo the boss fight now, so.
Hey, you can get the quick kill now. Yoshi's like, yeah, you know how it feels.
So you can, that would be a good time for some donations.
We just clapped for a death because Yoshi got his revenge.
I got you covered. We have $15 from General Killmore. I should be studying right
what?
now and just emptied my wallet on Steam, but here we go again. Absolutely worth giving a little for a world of difference for those less fortunate. Go conquer those galaxies.
There we go. So I'm not going to bother with early kill strat because now my cycles are messed up. So in the meantime, let's try that stupid strat again. There we go.
What?
I didn't know you could do that.
I'm so glad you died and got to show this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and grab one. There we go. All right, I'm not going to jump this time. That's what messed me up. All right. So let's wait here. There we go.
Oh,
Wait, what? All right, now I have to wait for him to do this little lightning attack, and I have to try to snipe him. This is not going well right now.
oh, nice snipe though.
Hardest boss in the game.
Yeah, sorry about that whole death shenanigans there. That it can be really frustrating when your pointers decide to not cooperate. But we're out of there, thank goodness.
And Yoshi now gets to be in the little animation for the star.
Yeah. So now we're going to move on to Spin Dig Galaxy, which is where we get to see the first of Mario's actual power-ups, the Spin Drill. As the name implies, you can just drill your way through planets that have dirt in them. And Nintendo intended for you to use this power-up a lot on this first planet, but what they didn't realize is that Mario can jump in these games. So there's going to be a lot of sequence breaks where you just jump instead of using the drill to get to where you need to go.
Yeah, that sort of stuff is all over the Galaxy games. I like to think like it was almost Nintendo, the devs feeling like they allow the players to be a little creative with it. So like he's saying right here, you're supposed to like go drill inside this first planet, find some stuff. I don't even remember.
Might just drill to the other side. I don't remember.
I genuinely have no memory of it.
I haven't done this
Yeah, I
in
think
7
that's
years.
what you do, but instead of doing that, I'm just going to triple jump up there because I'm a speedrunner and that's what I do. Nice.
Oh, the saves. Let's get it.
That jump's not actually that hard.
You're not supposed to tell them that.
All right, so here I'm going to use another homing ground pound here to get this spin drill real quickly.
Yeah, homing ground pounds are interesting things. Sometimes it's like whatever object it's closest to, it'll kind of home in on. Other times, though, it's just he made sure he contorted Mario to be in the right direction. And nice little sequence break right there where he sort of did a little double jump and then drilled into the corner, which actually sent him at a little bit of an angle to pop out on the other side there, cutting out a little back and forth.
All right, so this planet is pretty self-explanatory, so we should probably go over star bits and coins. So you're going to probably notice that I've been shooting out most of my star bits.
That was the thing.
Yeah. That actually happened to me in an old PB of mine once. Yeah, the cycles there can be really, really bad if your movement is really bad, so there we go.
You'll notice he's shooting out star bits because there are hungry Lumas in this game that you have to feed to open up levels, but you can get all the star bits from the Bank Toad, which is basically like a New Game Plus sort of thing where you can share star bits between files.
But why do I need star bits here? Well, you're about to find out.
Captain Toad tries to talk to you.
Hey, it's
We don't
Captain
like that
Toad.
guy.
Aw.
You don't talk to us.
Yeah.
Saves him a few seconds over a little text box.
All right, so here's Dig-a-Leg. This boss is one of the few instances of RNG in this run. So basically, Dig-a-Leg is going to, at some point in the fight, Dig-a-Leg is going to try to jump to either the left or the right, and optimally, he'll jump right on top of me. And because then he'll jump straight to the other side of the planet and become vulnerable wide to right, but it's about a 50-50 chance. I don't know the exact odds, but
50-50 sounds good.
I didn't get it.
Unlucky, unfortunately.
I also want to try to keep those yellow enemies alive if possible. Unfortunately, he killed one, because then he won't try to spawn anymore like he's about to here. All right, so let's see if I can get good RNG here. Bless RNG.
Come on, 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 come on.
9.
Yeah. That's what we like to see.
And one of those, oh, never mind.
Oh, rip.
That was my fault. There we go.
Nice.
And I could walk to the star, but I'm a speedrunner and I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna drill straight to it. And I'll just pop right up into the star. All right, so why don't you go ahead and fire off a couple donations?
Certainly. We have 10502 from Bobzilla 203, 502 Crew Forever. And we have $1,000 from Professor Sill.
Wow.
Who says, been meaning to donate each year. Glad to be at a place in my life where I can help make a difference.
All right, so as you can see here, Lubba does sometimes bring you to other parts of the starship, like here, for instance. And we don't really care because we don't care about Lubba and what he has to say to us, so I'm just gonna head straight back to the button.
And it was like, oh, we're being so mean to him. He talks to you way too much in this video game about stuff we don't care about.
He's trying to be friendly.
Look, I love Lubba, but he is really annoying.
Yeah, but we'll get our revenge on him later at the end of the run. So this is right side down. This level does kind of play with how gravity works in this game, but one thing that's cool about this level is that Nintendo kind of meant for you to break this level, or at least I like to think they did, because there's a lot of skips in this first star that I'm about to do here that are basically just like convenient level design here. So first of all, at the start here, I got this really cool backflip here that will allow me to just go all the way down to the flower.
Again, your backwards velocity, for whatever reason on startup, is just really good.
There we go. I landed there, but I was able to save it. So you're intended to hit a gravity switch here, but conveniently, there is an item box placed right here. That's right. Oh, I meant to backflip there. There we go. And I can use that to get all the way down here. All right, I'm gonna go for another slip boost here. Got it.
Nice, beautiful.
So here's another area where the game intends for you to hit a gravity switch, but instead of doing that, I'm gonna use these elevators, which are conveniently placed right next to where I need to go. There we go. And right here is a pretty difficult section, so if you want to kind of go over the two things I'll be doing here.
Yeah, I mean, we got the Fire Flower out here. It's pretty cool. And he's actually by, I think it's by like holding Z.
You mash Z.
Yeah, you mash Z and shake the Wii remote, and you can throw fireballs really fast. And then here you can kind of jump under the box.
I'm not going to go for that.
Yeah, you can die pretty easily trying to jump under these boxes.
Yeah, because if you get squished in this game, it doesn't matter how much health you have, you're just dead.
Which is weird because you can jump on lava and not die.
All right, so here I'm gonna just jump up here.
You're not supposed to come up here.
You are actually, because there's one-ups in the four corners.
Oh, that is true.
Nintendo thinks you can go up there.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, you kind of got to contort Mario to where you delay him enough by just throwing enough fireballs to make sure he actually fully gets into kind of like his 2D state right there to be on top of the star.
All right. So next we're actually going to go back into right side down to do the secret or hidden star, depending on what you want to call them. And if you remember the trash mini games from Galaxy 1, this is a similar concept. We have to burn a bunch of boxes. I don't know. And I'm going to be able to skip the level intro cutscenes because I've already seen them. I also have to actually point at the screen instead of like, or just use the nunchuck like that instead of like auto-selecting like I normally do. And again, here I'm just mashing A because I can skip the cutscenes because Nintendo's nice enough to let you do that.
Of course, they don't do it before you play the level.
All right. This is going to be interesting. All right. So you're supposed to hit another gravity switch there, but you can just jump up into the pipe. All right, so here, this is actually a really hard thing to do optimally. It's not it's hard to do casually, but if you're trying to go fast, it can be really difficult.
Yeah, a good beginner strat here is you just kind of come down to the front row and throw it up all the different rows. But instead, we're going to go for some optimal stuff here, where we just kind of throw it at different notches on the controller.
11's good.
11's really good, actually. Yeah.
The best you can get on that minigame is just barely 14, so...
Yeah, I think my best is like a 12 or a 13, so that was pretty good. And I had a few missed shots, too. I'm actually kind of bad at that one. But we're done with right side down now.
It's deceivingly hard.
Not as hard as the trash minigame from the inferior Galaxy game.
Ooh. We
I
got
have
a
to
fight
agree-
on the couch.
I have to agree with Claire on that one.
Galaxy 2.
So keep this guy in mind because he'll be important later.
Wubba? Oh, no, this guy.
Yeah.
He's not important.
I was like, I thought we were just talking crap about him. I didn't know.
Yeah, Lubba's not important. No, like I said, we don't care about him. But what we do care about is the next level, which is Fluffy Bluff.
Coolest power up in the game.
So this level introduces the Cloud Flower, which has its own set of broken physics, like almost every power-up in the Galaxy games.
It's so cool.
So for this first star, I'm going to be collecting 100 coins to feed a Hungry Luma. This is the first Hungry Luma in the game, and it requires the most coins, ironically enough. But thankfully, there's 2 really good locations you can go to in order to collect coins.
Basically, the completely intended way for us to get to 100 coins. Otherwise, you're not finding 100 coins just sitting around.
Yeah, so here's a cool shot here. You can long jump into this Cloud Flower, and you face the camera. And then you get a little bit backwards momentum from that.
And right here, little Cloud Mario. So each of those represent a different cloud platform that you can then create and be able to go up to different platforms or get up to higher areas.
I'm regaining the lives I lost earlier.
The strats.
And you have to make sure you go pretty fast there. Otherwise, if you let the time run out, you have to ditch the star.
Cloud
And,
Mario has
here's-
his own sets of physics. He's much more floaty than normal Mario is.
Yeah, and here's the remaining 40 coins. Hopefully I don't miss any of these. So now we're gonna feed to this, we're now gonna feed them to this Hungry Luma, and he's just gonna burst with snacky happiness and transform into an entire planet, which I guess is something that can happen. I don't know. Have any of you ever done that?
Has everyone here been to a local buffet? What happened?
They kicked me
People
out.
were like, yeah, I love it.
All right, and this last planet has some pretty cool movement if I can pull it off, so I'll just try to let this speak for itself.
Yeah, he can do a lot of canceling of his different cloud animations. That in conjunction with these wall kicks makes for some really fast movement. Let's see if we can get just enough height off the wall kick.
So to explain some of the cloud tech that you're seeing me use, if you crouch as soon as you make a cloud, you can cancel the cloud making animation and move right away. And that allows you to utilize the cloud's bounce. Because when you're on a moving platform that's moving up and you jump, your jump gains a lot more height. And so you can kind of utilize that bounce to do that. And you'll be seeing me use that a lot with other mechanics related to the Cloud Flower. So next star in Fluffy Bluff 1, I'm actually going to be doing a pretty big skip here that involves cloud momentum. So when you're Cloud Mario and you long jump off the center of a cloud and you're floating over an abyss, you're actually getting quite a bit of horizontal speed. And I'm going to use this to cross a huge distance and skip pretty much the entire level.
This is also one of the only levels where he skips the Comet Medal. So
Yeah, off that triple jump, he was able to only have to use one cloud to get on top of the tree. And now, see the rest of the level.
There's no death zone here.
That should work.
Now he wants to try to get on top here. Very nice.
All right.
Also going to be showing off some cloud jumps, I think.
Yeah!
Using the moving cloud platform moving up, you can just long jump very far.
Yeah, we'll see it again right here. So we'll start one up and then, again, just spinning and doing the long jump at the same time just gives you this nice boost utilizing a cloud.
Best character in the game, by the way.
Yeah, we'll see him quite a few times throughout the rest of the run.
And there we go.
So yeah, well-executed star right there.
So there are going to be some instances where after you get a star that involved a power-up, not necessarily the first star with that power-up, where Lubba will try to bring you down to this little engine room here where there's all the power-ups in like glass containers. You're not able to actually use the power-ups. You're able to just stare at them and gloat about them, I guess. I don't know. And just like with everything else relating to Starship, we're just going to yeet on out of here as soon as we can. So bye, Lubba.
Some pretty difficult movement right here.
And I didn't have a whole lot of momentum for that triple jump there, so let's get over here, and there we go. So now we're heading off to the first boss level. Each of the 6 worlds in this run has a boss level, and they alternate between Bowser Jr. and Bowser stages, and they're all relatively difficult,
And this is the worst one.
arguably.
This is definitely, in terms of just the boss fight itself, I think it's the hardest boss in the entire game.
Yeah, I actually kind of hate the stage more than I hate the level, because in this stage, there's going to be a pretty tight cycle I have to make with the swamp right here, and the movement is very difficult. There's a lot of jumps that you can just easily kill you if you do them in the slightest wrong way.
This boss sucks, but he sucks way more when he's engulfed in flames.
Oh, God.
Which at least you don't have to fight in this run.
Thank God.
All right.
All right, good movement so far into a triple. Get a nice wall kick.
And you made the
All
cycle.
right, good stuff.
I can still make this maybe? Okay.
Oh, wow.
And you
My
can
spin
just
got a little bit delayed there.
you can skip that main planet, and the boss planet just has a huge gravity field.
So Viper did something called the frame perfect ground pound, where if you spin and press Z on the same frame, you can do a regular ground pound out of a long jump. Normally you can only do a spin pound, but he did it out of the same frame.
All right, and this is Gobblegut, so you can go ahead and kind of explain how Gobblegut works.
Yeah, he's got 6 bulbous orbs on his body, and you go in 2 phases. You try to break 3 and 3 apiece. If this goes well, he has to do basically no waiting around for him to come down. He's going to try to hit orbs 5, 6, and 1 right here at the beginning. He has to get an immediate long jump into a 5th break. Nice. Immediately into a backflip, taking out the 2nd one. Delay a little bit.
At least it's the first one.
Yeah,
it's not a big
It's an easy one to back up too.
All right.
So now in the second phase, I'm going to run down and in a straight line, which will make Gobblegut follow me and get closer and closer to the planet. And I'm going to turn around at a specific time and try to get the last 3 orbs back to back to back.
Yeah, pulling his body down here just a little bit. That's 1. That's 2. He's avoiding the face.
Very easy to get.
Beautiful.
Still very
Boss
good.
is really hard.
Yeah, and here's the best part. In this run, we have to fight him twice.
Yeah, we're coming back later.
Yep.
This boss is disgustingly difficult to actually nail all of that. Right from the long jump at the beginning, it's hard.
And that's our first Grand Star, which will allow us to move on to the second world of the run. We use Grand Stars to go from world to world. And I hope you enjoy the cutscenes that are about to take place, because you're going to have to see them after every single world. So Crunchy, go hit us with a few donations.
Hey, you got it. We have $250 from Kaimont Fendo. I can hardly believe that Pet the Dog got 2K in just the few minutes I've been watching. People really want to pet that dog, and I'm one of them. And we have $10 from Actually I'm Jerome. Hey, Viper, it is I.
Jerome, what's up?
Your favorite stream moderator. So sorry I couldn't make it here this year, but I wish you the best of luck on this run, and I send you love from here. Have fun.
Thanks, Jerome. There's time for a couple more.
All right. We have $25 from James Burton 43. Pet that Doge. And we have $5 from Red Massa. Doggo must get a nice boop.
All right, so the first level we're going to go to is Puzzle Plank, and the music is very cool, but other than that, this star doesn't have a whole lot to offer.
It's just fun to play.
Yeah, it's got a lot of low-hanging fruit, simple, unintended sequence breaks that you can go for, that we can point out as we go through. But mainly just the track slaps in this.
As does most of the music in this game.
Yeah, the Galaxy games have beautiful music.
You could probably fit in 1 or 2 more donations. The first part of this level is pretty basic.
All right. We've got $30 from Jalson. Been watching AGDQ and SGDQ since I heard about them 5 years ago. So excited to finally be in a position to donate and support this great cause. Had to donate during the second Mario section since it was one of the games I remember most from my childhood. Orb!
Orb.
I know, right? I don't think there's any orbs in this game, but I don't remember. All right, so for this spin here, I do a backflip spin here to just get to this launch star early so I can skip having to go to the bottom half of this planet.
Nice.
Yeah, so spin heights, if you're holding A, you actually spin higher with either character, Mario or Luigi. But you actually want to be spinning using the Wii remote to get the most height with Mario.
And it's reversed with Luigi. But they don't explain that anywhere, because why would they?
It's also weird because you can spin with the nunchuck immediately after a wall jump, but not with the Wiimote. So they just made them different for no apparent reason.
Yeah, that movement can be pretty difficult to do right there.
Yeah, a little scary with the buzzsaws coming up. Because they just barely touch your toe, you're going to be yeeted off the side.
And this section right here is really weird. So the gravity here is really weird. I would like to get on here.
And sometimes when you ground pound, it'll knock the pieces down twice instead of once.
Yep. Don't really know why.
right there.
Okay, and double.
Yeah, that's pretty random and rare, and no one really knows why it works, but it does.
And then Viper's just going to fight this little boss from the Superior Galaxy game.
Okay, we can stop that now.
This always makes me feel awful. I don't know what they did to you, but the child's dead. And what do you do there?
You missed the guy.
No.
That's what you do.
We just killed a family. I don't know what they were doing. Thanks for the star, though. See ya.
Yeah, you'll find that we like to kill the animals here. Who likes to kill the animals?
Woo!
Save the animals.
There's like 4 people who donate to kill the animals in here.
I'm disappointed. I mean, we don't really kill a lot of Yoshis in this run, because every time I drop Yoshi in a pit, he just turns into an egg and then respawns somewhere else so he doesn't actually die.
Oh, giving him the lore.
Yeah. You can actually see Yoshi turning into an egg. And here we have a bit of an unskippable world map sequence where Wub is going to explain the grand world map to us. So you have this world map which allows us to go from galaxy to galaxy, but then you have the grand world map which allows us to go from world to world.
Which will be used a few times.
Yeah. And now it's time for a Hot Tail Falls.
This has a Yoshi power-up in it where you go very fast.
Yeah, so this introduces the Dash Pepper, which, again, as he said, makes Yoshi go very fast, and you can also travel up some really steep walls. I don't know how that correlates, but we're going to go with it.
It's like Sonic.
And this level is a pretty fan-favorite level. It's got a lot of cool movement and a pretty big, cool little jump at the very end. I'm also going to be collecting some Starbits here because since you can't spit out Starbits while on Yoshi, it's just better to grab the ones that are on the way. So let's see if I can get this. And the Dash Pepper's effects actually persist between launch stars, so I'm going to try to hold on to this effect as long as possible.
And of course, Yoshi's in this level, so there's another infinite flutter coming up.
Yeah.
Pretty tight little movement right there to get this intended little Dash Pepper. If you bonk right there, you fall all the way back down, lose a good 15 seconds probably.
Yeah, it's about that, yeah. Let's see if I can get this.
Yeah, again, trying to elongate the usage of his...
Rip.
You did a little bit of flutter. So those jumps don't really save or lose anytime. They're just cool to do. So for this infinite flare, you don't actually have to crouch in between flutters. You can just let the cooldown timer run out, and you don't even have to dismount off of Yoshi, which is pretty cool.
Pretty difficult little snag here of the Comet Medal.
I'm going to spin to make it a little bit easier. And don't blink.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, like I said earlier, when you dismount off of Yoshi, you maintain all of your momentum. So that's me dismounting off of Dash Yoshi while running up a really steep slope. Yeah, you get some pretty big boost in speed and height out of that.
Good star right there.
All right, so we probably have time for a quick donation.
All right. We have $5 from Anonymous, who just says, $5 Doggo Train hype!
Hype. So up next is Cosmic Cove Galaxy, and you might think of this as some of a Resident Sleeper type level, and it kind of is, but there's actually pretty interesting routing here. So in Cosmic Cove 1, I'm going to be getting 15 coins to feed a Hungry Luma, and then not actually going to where the Hungry Luma takes me, because I'm going to save that for a difference. I'm actually going to save that for the next star I do.
Yeah, thankfully, whenever you feed a Hungry Luma, it will then go explode and become a planet, because that's how it works. And that will actually save itself for other stars as well.
So here I'm using Starbits to kill these little worm enemies, because if I don't kill them like that, then they'll give me Starbits. But if I do kill them like that, they'll give me coins, and I want to do that a couple times.
Yeah, small difference between the Galaxy games. In Galaxy 1, they put like no cooldown timer as in your spins underwater. So in there, it's faster. You don't want to use shells. You just want to spin constantly. But in Galaxy 2, they actually gave you a refund timer. So it's faster just to take the shell instead.
And it requires significantly less exercise.
Yes.
Way easier on your arms.
And with the shell, you can also do some pretty cool jumps out of the water, like the one I'm about to attempt here.
Speaking of differences from Galaxy 1, I'm really salty they didn't bring back the Ice Flower, because that would work so well in this level.
Yeah, the Ice Flower was easily the coolest power-up in Galaxy 1, and just not present, sadly. We got the Cloud Suit, so whatever.
Oh,
Pointer.
Yeah, Pointer is a nuisance when running this game. All right, and right here, I'm going to ditch the launch star, because again, I'm going to go here for the next star I do.
So graceful.
Yeah, and I'm just going to, wall jump up these ice waterfalls, because that's a thing you can do in this game.
As you do.
That was a pretty good star.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that star can be pretty difficult to optimize with all the little intricacies there are to it. All right, and now we're coming up to probably the most important part of the entire run.
Oh, please God.
So I mentioned earlier that if you point your Wii remote off screen and then just mash A, you will automatically select the first clear star that's present in the menu. I actually don't want to do that here, because then I'll select Cosmic Cove 2, and I don't have access to where I need to have access to for the secret star in Cosmic Cove 2. So I would have to sit through the level intro cutscenes and basically just wait like an entire minute or something, and then exit level. And I can't just do Cosmic Cove 2 since that's like a 3-minute long star.
and it's boring.
I didn't turn around enough. So, serious time.
God.
I'm actually going to use my nunchuck to do it since my pointer's being a little bit weird. There
Hey. The 1 minute time save. Cosmic Cove 2 legitimately is, for whatever reason, one of the longest stars in the entire game.
Yeah,
It is really fun.
You
So
basically
it's
swim
not-
for the whole level.
So here I'm going to grab the shell here, and I'm on the way here. I'm going to grab some star bits for a strat I'm going to try to go for here, if, again, my pointer wants to be cooperative. You could probably read one donation while I'm getting here.
Certainly. I have $40 from the old video gamer enjoying the show. Why wouldn't you want to pet the dog?
You may remember the bunnies from Galaxy 1. They suck. But there's only one in this game.
Which is why this game is better.
I mean, as someone who's pretty neutral, that's a good point.
That's
All right.
fair.
And there's a pretty fast strat that I'm going to try here, where you can just shoot the bunny with star bits and hopefully get it to come to you.
Yeah, you have to not move at all, and
Got
then,
it.
for whatever reason, the bunny's just like,
It just runs the wrong way, and it runs right into you. So like, okay, well, we'll just... And that skips having to head over there and hit that switch to freeze the lake.
I think you're just like actually blinding him so he doesn't know where to
Yeah,
go.
he's very confused.
All right. So now here's where the new route comes in. So if you have seen Galaxy 2 speedruns, like with sometime within the past couple of years, you might be familiar with the older route. Well, there's actually been a new route that's been in development recently. And the divergence is going to start right here. But first, we're going to get some star bits from the Bank Toad.
You need about 4,800 for the whole run, so you
Yeah.
just take them all from here.
And a little bit of optimization here. I have my cursor over the OK. So this is kind of like a new game plus sort of thing, because these are technically star bits from another file. But we're allowed to do that in this run, and it's basically the standard for running this game at this point.
This run would be a lot less fun if you had to collect star bits, especially if you're doing 100%.
Yes.
Which, by the way, is 9.5 hours with Bank Toad.
But it's also much more fun, so...
I mean, that's debatable. If you like long categories, then sure.
So a minor strat he's going for right here. A minor strat he was actually going for right there was trying to make sure he was still feeding the Hungry Luma, but positioning himself to do that backflip to get onto the pad, just moving a little bit, because the game will keep it in memory right here that he was already doing it. So
Yeah, your clapping kind of distracted me. All right, so here's a Honey Bloom Galaxy. I'm actually going to be collecting both stars here, something the old route didn't do. This first star I'm about to do is the secret star, and it's the fastest star in any percent because there's a secret wall kicking section literally right at the beginning of the level. And I'm just going to kind of let the next 20 seconds or so basically speak for themselves.
Not a bad time for donations.
Alrighty. We have $100 from Greg Meyer. GDQ is my favorite time of the year. Thank you all so much for what you do. And $5 from Anonymous. Hello, this is from a blind gamer and her service dog, Snickerdoodle. Snickers threatened to walk me into walls if the dog doesn't get pets, so help me out. Donate for dog pets.
So yeah, that starts fast.
That was like 1.5 donations.
Okay, you can clap now. You can clap now, yeah. All right, so the next star I'm about to do is Honey Bloom 1, which is the newest addition to this route. We didn't used to consider this star fast enough for any percent, and technically it really isn't. It's about 1 minute 50 seconds if you can do it really well, which is very, very difficult. But the reason why, but it actually is more so like world map stuff for why this route saves time, and I'll get into that later in the level. This star is technically slower in game time than the star it replaces, which is Supermassive Secret. Or Supermassive 1, but first of all, you can skip the level intro cutscenes, which kind of balances that out. So this entire star is in 2D, so there's not really room for a whole bunch of big sequence breaks. So this entire star is basically just having really good movement and execution, and it's one of the hardest stars in the run to do optimally because of all the movement you have to do. So this first part, I'm gonna kind of try to focus here. Yeah, I long jumped a little early there. This section's really difficult.
Now, right there, you see the bee suit. With the bee suit, you'd be allowed to stand on these flowers and these clouds, but instead you have just a little bit of time to land on each of them.
Got it.
Nice again.
Oh my God.
That's really hard.
You have a few frames to make that jump, and if you miss that, then you're falling all the way down and losing a lot of time. So here's Bee Mario. It's just as underwhelming as it is from the first game.
He's very slow,
Yeah.
but you need him.
Yeah, to get through a few sections of the level. I'm actually gonna intentionally try to ditch Bee Mario by taking damage off this little enemy here so that I can get through this next section a little bit quicker.
Nice.
And here we go. This section is kind of the last difficult section. I'm gonna play it a little safe here. Nice. All right, that went well.
Yeah.
So the rest of this star is pretty straightforward. So I'm actually going to go ahead and explain why this route saves time, for those who don't know. It's actually mostly world map stuff. So basically, by doing this star instead of Supermassive, by not doing Supermassive, I'm able to skip both a world map, like a path unlock cutscene and a comet spawn cutscene, which save about 5 seconds each. And I also, by doing this star now, I'm able to do Boulder Bowl 1 way later in the run. And this will allow me to end World 4 1 Comet Medal short than before, which will allow me to skip a Comet Medal, which will allow me to skip a Comet Unlock cutscene after the World 4 boss levels. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of little things on the overworld map that is going to end up making it just fast enough.
All right. I tried to fly directly to that star, making me here. That was actually not too bad.
Yeah, there was a lot of really good stuff done in that start.
Another thing with routing is, if you noticed after Honey Bloom's Secret, Lubba brought him to the bottom of the ship, but then he was teleported back to the front because of the bank toad. So there are some cutscenes that overlap like that, and we try to optimize this as much as possible, which is one of the reasons we do Boulder Bowl 1 so late in this route.
Yeah, just trying to cut out some of that movement that you would have to do from the bottom of the ship.
All right, so next we're going to come up to the first Bowser level, which is Bowser's Lava Lair. And this is a pretty interesting level because there's not really a whole lot of like major sequence breaking, but rather it's just a bunch of small stuff that adds up.
And it wouldn't be a Bowser level without lava boosts.
Of course. We do lava boosts in all 3 of the Bowser levels in this run. And there's a lot of pretty difficult stuff in here, but hopefully I can get a pretty decent showing of this level. There's pretty much skips in every section of this level. So at the start here, you're supposed to kill this Magic Koopa to make a pole star appear so you can get to the next section, but the gravity field of the next section extends just far enough for me to make it there with a simple long jump. So here we go.
Nice.
So, and here I'm going to be skipping this spring by using a side flip, or not. I'll just take the spring. It doesn't matter. I have to wait on a cycle here anyways. Okay, there we go. I'm going to grab this little life mushroom here to get 3 extra bars of health because, like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of lava boosting, and there's a lava boost that does require me to have 4 health, so it's very important from here on out that I don't go below that. Otherwise, I'll lose this extra 3 health, and that could potentially happen here.
So instead of going up there with the Hammer Brother or whatever's over there, you can just go over here and lava boost.
Oh no, that's gonna cost me the extra health.
Oh.
I didn't get the wall jump.
Luckily, there's a backup strat.
Yeah, there's a backup that's a little bit slower and it's a little bit trickier, but I'll go for it. So there's many different ways to get this common medal. I would have gone for the fastest method, but because I lost that extra 3 health, okay. That worked out.
Sure.
Just as planned. So on these doors that pull you forward, you can kind of just like move forward on your own to get to where you're going.
All right, I'm gonna grab this checkpoint. So this is not the strat you normally do, but this is a backup strat. This is actually pretty difficult. And this basically allows me to skip a bunch of snake block auto scrollers. And now I gotta try to long jump across these statues. I'm gonna use spins on all 3 of these here just to play it safe, and we made it. Nice.
All right, beautiful.
If you had the extra health, you would have gone sort of to the right instead of going to the snake block and bounced on the statues to the right. But the backup's not too much slower.
Okay, I guess that's an orb.
It is an orb.
Let's hear it. We got 3 of them right here. Orb.
One more.
Orb.
All right, there we go. So now it's time for the first Bowser fight of the run. So Bowser fights are significantly less interesting in this game than they are in the first game. So in Galaxy 1, there's like ways you can cancel all of Bowser's attacks and whatnot, and it's really flashy. In this game, all that happens is Bowser yells, he summons some meteors from the sky somehow, and then he punches you and gets his fist stuck in the ground like an idiot, and then the meteors just rise and you can ground pound them into him, and you have to do this 4 times. So there's not a whole lot to say, but there is some ways I'm going to try to go about speeding this up. This fight in particular is pretty basic. One thing I am going to try to optimize is I'm going to try to get Bowser to punch as close to the meteors as possible, and then ground pound the meteors in such a way that they'll travel the least amount of distance. So this looks pretty good. There we go. That wasn't too good of a first hit. All right. So now it's trying to get this. All right, so that's 2 hits. And on this next phase, Bowser is going to breathe fire. So this fire attack isn't too special, but I do want to pay attention to where it ends, because that's where he's actually going to start aiming his next punch. And if I'm going to be where Bowser's fist is about to punch, then he'll punch right away. By the way, if you happen to miss a hit in this fight, it's about 20 seconds each time it happens.
Yeah, please God, don't.
It's very punishing.
This game in general is much more punishing than the first game.
Yeah. One more of those. And each of the Bowser fights is basically the same, just like an added little twist each time. I say twist very lightly because it's not that big of a deal. All right, so here's the last hit here, and then after that... Oh, okay. I don't know why I didn't punch right away. There we go. All right, so now we just have a bunch of cutscenes, so for the next couple minutes, you can go ham on donations.
Oh boy, I love ham. We have $25 from Next Hero 91. It's awesome seeing Galaxy on GDQ. Keep up the good work, Super Viper T. And I got 3 words for everyone in Minnesota. Kill the animals.
Yeah!
Ooh.
Oh.
Save the animals.
Just for the record, the T isn't part of the Super Viper. It's part of the 302.
Super Viper.
Okie dokie. And $15 from That One Pancake. I have to go to work in 5 hours, but I just couldn't miss this incredible game. Please, pet dog.
So we got more world map. We got basically the same stuff that we saw after World 1, so you can read a lot more donations.
Okie dokie. We have $100 from Hoshi711. Hi, proud to be making my first donation to this awesome event. And $25 from Barely Composed. Hey friends, Barely Composed here. So happy to be watching another GDQ. Mario Galaxy is my favorite game in the world, and I really want to start speedrunning it myself. Where should a new runner go to get started?
Interesting. So first of all, I would highly suggest joining the Super Mario Galaxy Discord. We have a Discord server for both of the games, because they're similar enough to the point where we feel like we need to combine them. Also, I have a playlist of tutorials on my YouTube channel. And it's not for every single start, but it's for most of the difficult skips and for a lot more of the complicated levels. So yeah, definitely check those out. A lot of people have found them helpful, so I definitely would recommend them.
Yes, the Discord has a lot of helpful people, so if you want to learn these games, those are the best place to go.
All right, so here's World 3. This is where I would say the run really starts to get punishing. It gets a step more difficult after this point. So we're starting off, we're going to go to Cloudicor here, where we're going to do a bit more cloud boosting action. So if you enjoyed that, you'll enjoy this level.
This level is really hard, by the way. It does a lot of big skips.
Yeah, there aren't too many big skips. It's mostly just kind of like cutting corners. There's one launch star we skip later on, and then at the end there's just one cycle I'm going to go for with some crushers. That can be pretty tricky. So one thing I'm going to explain here is the 4 cloud strats. Or that's what I call them. So at the start here, I'm going to do a thing where I cloud boost into a cloud flower, and that replenishes my cloud stock, and that allows me to use the extra 3 clouds to cross a big gap.
Nice.
Like this.
Just enough distance.
Yeah, and I'll be doing that twice. And because you're basically using 4 clouds for that, you can call it 4 cloud strats. And you kind of have to ledge grab that drum there to get up there without using clouds. And I'm going to use all 3 of these clouds here to skip a launch star here. That Octumba is the worst enemy in the game, by the way.
He shoots you twice.
Yeah. He plays a lot of Call of Duty. So here's just a little 2D section. Once again, I'm just going to use Cloud Mario to just skip having to ride this wind here. Like this.
Nice triple jump spacing right there.
Okay, I didn't. The game likes to eat your spin puts sometimes. All right, there we go. Let's go do another 4 cloud strat here.
He's basically going to go over the top of this level right here.
Oh,
Just enough distance.
All right, and now we're going to go for the 1 cycle here.
Yeah, this is usually pretty difficult to go for. Try to get this Comet Medal and get up out of there in
And
time.
he got it.
Made it look way too easy, honestly.
I don't think I've ever pulled that off.
it's actually a lot more difficult than it looks.
Yeah, with my setup, it's not terribly difficult, but it's still it can still go wrong in a variety of ways. So, yeah. All right. So the next star. This is where I get to have a little bit of fun with the chat. So it's a bit of a mini game with the chimp guy you saw earlier, where I have to score a certain amount of points in a time limit. So the basic way this works is you have to score 500 points at the minimum, but you have 40 seconds to do so, and the timer duration is fixed, so you can't stop the timer early or anything, and it doesn't lose time to go for as high of a score as possible. So if you have any guesses as to what score I'm going to get, you can guess anywhere between 500 and 900 and only guess in multiples of 10. So stuff like 530, 620, 790. Anybody who's looking at Twitch chat, good luck figuring out who gets it right. Any of you have any guesses?
Of course. 770.
730.
670.
All right.
Now, are these prices right rules?
I don't know. Crunchy, you got one?
Okay.
All right.
Yo, nice shot right there, actually. Getting
Yeah.
over the top.
All right, so the entrance to this little pipe here is in this tree here. Hard to find if you don't look up a walkthrough or whatever. So let's get some hype for the chimp. He deserves some hype.
I love the chimp.
Look at
Yeah.
the sunglasses. Please select it. All right, and because they asked me to, I'm going to do this while skating backwards.
Skate backwards, yeah.
How does it, if you just like hold Z, you're
Right.
just.
You just press it. I learned it
God,
last
that's
year.
so cool.
Yeah.
So, in case anybody's wondering, so the patterns you can get here aren't really random, but they can be rotated in one of 3 or 4 different ways, and that's random. All right, I missed that one, but I'm just gonna let it move on.
There's a lot of leniency on what you can miss here.
Why can you go backwards?
It makes no sense.
Mario's just showing off.
All right, I got the score, but we're gonna take it further. We're gonna take it a little bit further.
Oh, come on, to get the big one. No. Oh, yes.
No.
Oh, yes. Oh, one more. Oh. Yes, let's go, dude. Super Viper, Viper, I love you. Let's go.
Rigged.
Love you too, bro.
I just won nothing.
You win the satisfaction of winning. I think that's good enough.
I legitimately popped off. I'm so happy.
You did.
That's okay. You'll get another chance later if you didn't guess it right.
Yeah, in about a little over an hour, I'd say. You can read one quick donation real quick.
All right, $5 from Great White. Search the depths of your soul, cast away your humanity, and pet the dog.
All right, so next up is Freezy Flake 1, and there's nothing too special about this star, except for most of the star, I'm going to be on a bit of a timer, and with the Fire Flower. So basically, I'll explain it more once we get to the next section, but once we get a little bit into the level, but just know that there's a pretty tight cycle I have to make here at the start. Also, this early Fireball shot is, it can be a little tricky. You have to throw the Fireball at the right time at the right angle. And I got 2 for 2.
Oh,
Cool.
2 for 2, good stuff. So he's going to want to long jump through this Fire Flower, replenishing the timer on it. And now he's on that timer. He's going to try to get all the way past the statue and into the next room and get to the Comet Medal before this one runs out.
That was all right. I should be able to make this.
Not even going for the clip.
Yeah, there's a clip you can do into the slide there that makes this a little bit easier, but it's a little bit tight.
Oh, all right, he makes it.
Very nice, just in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you miss that, you lose about 20 seconds because you have to blow up that block and then get that Comet Medal and then wait for the next Fire Flower to appear before you can go get it again and go here to blow up the statue because you just don't have enough time.
And right there, utilizing that lava boost. Normally they want you to go all the way around, push a snowball to make platforms. Nah, you can just jump all the way there if you carry that Fire Flower all the way.
Yeah, it's a pretty good strat. And as for the Bowser statue, I was actually, instead of just spamming my Wii Remote like you would think I would do, I was timing my shake so that I could get the fireballs in a little bit quicker. Yeah, that's a pretty fast star. And now we have 3 stars from World 3, so say hi to Luigi.
Yay!
Hey. And now we're going to ditch him because he's not really useful for this run.
Unfortunately.
Luigi is. Oh, yeah, we talked to him again.
Yeah. Oh, you think you're going to ditch him.
The game didn't register my spin put. So, yeah, from here on out, Luigi will start appearing at the start of various stars, and you can talk to him to switch to playing as him for 1 star. But he talks to you both before and after, and you can only use him for that 1 level, so it wastes too much time with the amount of time he would save.
Yeah, while in Super Mario Galaxy 1 speedruns, you can actually just start the game as either Mario or Luigi. In this game, you actually just kind of have to play through the any % portion of the run with Mario, and then in post-game, you can swap to Luigi.
Luckily, this game feels much more designed around Mario than the first game does for speedrunning.
All right, so on the start of the star here, I actually turned the camera a few times because if moving platforms and objects are not on camera, they don't move. So that applies to the platforms at the start of this section here. So I'm trying to make a pretty tight cycle here. Let's see if I can make this. It saves about 1 or 2 seconds. Okay.
That off-camera thing also applies to enemies.
Oh, we're going for it.
All right.
Nice, looks animated.
This does come at the cost of a checkpoint, though, so I have to be really careful here. So those first 2 platforms are cycle-based, but these next 2 platforms actually start moving once you enter a certain trigger radius. So they're not cycle-based, and because you can jump in this game, you can skip having to wait on most of them.
The Comet Medal's kind of in a scary spot here.
Yeah, because these Octobus are very annoying enemies as well. All right, I'm going to play it a little bit safe. And we have Yoshi in the next section, so you can probably guess what we're going to do.
Yeah, we're going to see another mechanic here as well in this Bulbous Berry.
Except you don't really need it.
Yo, clean.
You'll see the Bulb Berry later.
Shoutouts to Nemi, who actually hops off of Yoshi on the way to that star. It looks so scary.
He also does it at the weirdest angle. It's so crazy.
Nemi is ahead of his time for sure.
So World 3 was actually also rerouted recently, but rather than just replacing stars, we just do them in a different order. So this will also look slightly different than what you might be used to. Also, we just got 4 stars from World 3, so comets are going to start appearing. So we'll get more into those later. But for now, we're going to be moving on to Honey Halls 2, which is Long Jump Simulator 2010.
People who don't know more about the Galaxy games think this is what the run is.
Yeah, so this star is mostly just going to be about, cutting corners and trying to optimize your long jumps. Optimizing long jumps is actually a little bit tricky in the Galaxy games. You have to press Z and A at about the same time when starting a long jump from a run so that Mario doesn't crouch before he jumps. Otherwise, and then once you land, you can retain the momentum you had from the long jump and not lose any speed. And also when you're chaining long jumps, there's a small frame window when you can optimally press A. So this star doesn't have a whole lot going for it, so now would also be a good time for some donations.
I've got some of those. We have $7.70 from Gnarly. I popped up with Spike Vegeta for $7.70, so I had to donate.
Team 770, let's go.
And $77 from Nick 170, 10 cents for every point while skating backward.
Now's not a bad time to explain Comet Medals since we're going to be doing a Comet in a little bit. The way Comets get unlocked in this game is different than Galaxy 1. In Galaxy 1, they're kind of on a cycle, and they start appearing after a prerequisite level. But in this game, you just like get a certain number of Comet Medals, and then they start showing up as long as you've gotten the Comet Medal in the Galaxy that they're showing up on.
This star is a little bit scary, especially near the end.
Yeah. And also, Comets just like stay at the Galaxies instead of disappearing like they do in the first game.
Which makes riding this game way easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple things that checks for. It checks that you've collected the Comet Medals specifically that was from that galaxy, like we saw the one spawn there from Cloudy Court, but also that just you've collected X number of total Comet Medals.
Yeah, and they spawn in order from least required to most required. So for example, Cloudy Court only requires 1, this one only requires 2, and so on and so forth. So now we're going to go to the next Hungry Luma Galaxy, which is going to be Beat Block. And Beat Block has an interesting gimmick where it has these yellow and green platforms, and every 8 beats of the song, it will switch between the yellow platforms and the green platforms being active. Also, this has the weirdest Hungry Luma on the run. For whatever reason, the last star bit always shoots out later than the others for no real reason, but this is easy. It makes it easier to time that backflip.
I thought it was random.
Yeah. And
I thought it was too.
So, and with the way the cycles work in this level, that makes this star very, very cycle-based, and you do have to play pretty well to make the optimal cycle here. And this star is also a bunch of long jumps, but it's a bit more complicated than Honey Hoss 2 because you actually kind of have to pay attention to where you're going. And missing cycles here can be pretty bad. And also it's easy to die in this level if you like mistime anything or do something at the slightest bit of a wrong angle because you have to have pretty precise movement here. I say that, and I'm not going to go for the jump cancel here. And I'm actually going to take it kind of slow at the start here so that I can not get caught on these green platforms up ahead. Otherwise, I kind of land on them for a little bit. All right. This is looking good so far.
Yeah, good cycles to this point. Nice.
All right.
And this last little area just has some silver stars that you have to grab.
And this section's probably the most scary. All right. Perfect.
Oh. These blocks do lock in place once you've collected all 5 silver stars. I got a little scared there for the last one, the last beat.
Sometimes they can switch at the last second, but that requires really, really specific timing, and it's pretty rare that you ever get that. But if it does happen, it can be very, very scary. Also, don't try to stall in midair with ground pounds. I tried that once, and it did not end well.
He died.
Yeah. Ground pounds, you don't stay in the air for very long, and you zip down to the ground very quickly. It's almost instantaneous. So you'll be seeing me use those a lot whenever I need to travel down a large distance in a small amount of time. With that, we're going to be moving on to Tall Trunk 1. So Tall Trunk is this star is actually a pretty interesting star. There's a lot to it. And it's one of the more convoluted stars because there's like a lot of really difficult tricks you have to do here. It's very satisfying if this level goes well, but that's the hard part, is getting this level to go well.
This one is when you're starting out, you're going to be easily like a minute behind good players.
Yeah. So at the start of this level, you're supposed to use Yoshi and the Blimp Fruit to climb this tree, but that's slow, and Mario is a very skilled acrobat, so we're just going to use his various jumps and whatnot to scale this tree instead. This saves a few seconds. All right, let's set that up again. Side flipping is impossible in this game, by the way.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
Got it.
Good climb, though.
Yeah.
I find that if you go back to neutral before changing direction, side flips are a lot more consistent. That's just me, I guess.
So this infinite flutter is really awkward because it's straight backwards. Got it.
There you go.
And
Nice move right
if you mess that up, you have to hold forward at one point, and that completely kills your ability to go backwards. So you would have to like grab the blimp fruit, and that's super slow.
So in one full fall, he'll grab like pretty much all the star chips.
Yeah, that was really good. That was a really good second play. That is very hard to do.
And then ditch Yoshi.
Want to make sure he ditched Yoshi there, because now once he gets to this plane, he can do this super cool ground pound.
Where he just...
Frame perfect ground pound.
And unfortunately, infinite fluttering up with Yoshi is really slow, so we do have to resort to using the blimp fruit. This is basically just going to be about me trying to get the next fruit as quickly as possible. For this upcoming one, not this one, but that one, I'm going to actually shake out of this using the nunchuck so that I can keep my pointer pointed at that blimp fruit right there. And that just makes grabbing onto it a little bit easier. And you might think Yoshi's going to get his time to shine into the spotlight, but no.
Bye, Yoshi.
Rip.
We never liked him anyways.
He doesn't get to be in the cutscene, and you made him explode.
All right, so now we're going to get to our first comet. So in case you don't know, comets are basically harder versions of galaxies. There's usually some kind of challenge involved. There's different kinds of comets, and usually they're shortened versions of levels or just really fast stars to begin with. So even though sometimes getting out of your way to collect comet medals can take a little bit of time, in the end, you end up balancing it out with how fast these comets are. So Cloudy Quartz Comet, this is going to be a Cosmic Cone Comet. So those Cosmic Cones you saw all the way back in Sky Station 2, that's basically, they're going to be here for almost this entire star, and they are annoying.
Yeah, if you make one little mistake in like a wall jumping section, they also make the mistake. So when you're trying to go back up, they're all in the way.
It's impossible.
They copy your inputs frame perfectly, so it can be very irritating. And in this first section, I'm going to try a little thing here where if you just barely touch the edge of these star chips, you can actually prevent the Cosmic Cones from ever spawning in this first section. It's not really a time thing.
You did it.
Nice.
I didn't get it.
There's one.
I didn't get it all the way. You can get it all the way, and the Cosmic Cones will never spawn. And again, it doesn't really matter if you can get it or not. And now we're getting to the 2D section, which is where they're at their worst.
Please, God, don't fall here. Maybe I wanted you to fall there. The comedy would have been good.
It would have been funny, but it also wouldn't have been pretty sad.
Falling off the edge lets you see all of them also fall off the edge. And that was all really good.
And now we just have to make our way over to this crystal and break it before they get to us. And we get to it before they even fully spawn.
So that was pretty good.
That wasn't too bad. That's a pretty simple star, but it can go horribly wrong if you let it. So now at this point, I'm going to begin my first of a few backtracking sessions in this run. I don't quite have enough stars yet to unlock Bowser Jr.'s Fearsome Fleet, so we're going to go back to Worlds 1 and 2 and clean up a few comets that I just unlocked, so that I can increase my star counter.
It's such a... You need 29 stars to get to the
It's
World
really
boss.
weird. So the first comet I'm going to get is in World 2. It's Puzzle Planks Comet. Funnily enough, this actually requires Cloudy Quartz Comet, which I just got because that unlocks every Cosmic Coin Comet in the game. And this unlocks every Purple Coin Comet in the game, which is why I'm getting it before I finish World 3. This star it's one of those deceptively difficult stars.
The Cosmic Clones chase you here too, and if you miss a purple coin, you have to go back to get it.
And then you run into them.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult because Mario's hitbox is relatively small, so you have to just understand exactly what angles to run at to be able to run through all 4 of them in a given group.
Best music in the game.
Yeah, this song is pretty good.
Nice movement right there. Long jump through them.
I'm doing these short little bunny hops here because when you're in the air like this, you get a little bit of extra speed than if you're just walking. Okay, wow, that was actually insanely good.
That was really good.
I know it's the most mundane looking thing. That's so hard to do.
Don't grab a star bit.
Oh, nice.
No star bits.
I forget, it saves what, like half a second or something?
It's about
on
half a
every
second
level.
to a second. Or if you accidentally press A at the wrong time, it's a second. So now we're going to head back to World 1, and we're going to get Sky Station Comet, Yoshi Star Comet, and Flip Swap, and then we're going to move on to the boss. You can read a quick donation here.
Certainly. Got $30 from KC Stranger. Just drove 6 hours after a work trip. Am very tired. Time to stay up and watch Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah. Priorities.
Not a bad choice. So here's the first speedy comment of the run. So these are the stars where you have to complete the level within a certain time limit. And we're just not going to comment on how Nintendo chooses to spell speedrun because it's technically wrong.
Didn't they make it one word in Mario Maker 2?
I don't know.
I thought
They're
they did.
inconsistent.
They are inconsistent.
Yeah, and this is one of those stars where you actually have a very strict time limit. You have like 20 seconds once you start the level, but there's these clocks around the level that give you about 10 seconds each.
And also you skip, like a lot of the planets are taken out.
Yeah, this is a much shorter version of the star, which is why it's worth doing. And also this is one of the best songs in the game, but you don't get to hear a whole lot of it.
There's a lot of songs like that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A lot of the boss music's like that. And it just makes it nice.
So here's Pee Wee Piranha. We're basically going to go for what I went for on the first star, just ground pound his shell once to shatter the entire thing. And I have these star bits in reserves in case he tries to get away.
Nice first hit.
Again, on the first hit, he runs away a lot quicker, but on the second hit, it's a lot easier to get him in time.
Good stuff.
As you can see there, I had a little bit of extra spare time, but it doesn't hurt to go out of your way to grab a few extra clocks just in case something unforeseen happens.
I had a run die recently to running out of time, and it doesn't feel good.
No.
I'd imagine.
It kills you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those, I think optimally you cannot do it without grabbing at least one clock. As we saw, he had 23 seconds left right there, so technically he could have done it with only grabbing one, but yeah, it saves like no time to, especially grabbing one in the fight there. It's worth it.
So now we're going to head to Yoshi Star Comet, which is one of the first romp stars of the run.
Nice.
I hit left on the analog stick. That was my fault. So romp stars are basically you have to kill a certain amount of enemies within a time limit. And usually there's some kind of gimmick involved, like a power-up. In this case, it's the Rainbow Star, and this star is not very fun.
I hate this star. It's even worse as Luigi, because you run so fast. It's bad.
Yeah, at top speed, you have to work really hard to maintain your momentum, and you can just run into walls and lose all of your speed instantly.
Yeah, there's a little bit of startup right here, but once you get going, you basically go into P speed, and it's so hard to drop that P speed.
Or it's so easy to drop that P speed.
Or it's so easy to drop that T speed.
Like right there, I guess I didn't.
Kept it. Another thing to note is that since enemies are not doing anything when they're off screen, you can hit one of these spinies, but if they're not on screen when they die, they will just not die, and then you have to point the camera at where they were. So sometimes you'll kill all the enemies, but
yeah, one of the spinies actually died off camera a little bit earlier, but I was able to rotate the camera and have it go. That was
actually really good. Never really dropped his momentum there.
And also, I was right where the star spawns. Unlike SM64 or Sunshine, you don't have to the cutscene starts once you touch the star. You don't have to wait until you touch the ground. So that's pretty convenient.
Probably because a lot of them are floating over a giant pit.
It makes sense.
That's fair.
There's a lot of space in Galaxy. A lot of space in Galaxy, yep. Late night crew, let's go.
Yeah.
So now we're going up to the next Hungry Luma Galaxy, which is going to be Flip Swap. This galaxy has a bit of an interesting gimmick, similar to B Block, where there's blue and red platforms, and every time you spin, it switches between the blue and the red platforms being active. So casually, you have to be paying attention to what you're doing so that you don't accidentally screw yourself over. But in speedrunning, you can abuse this to your advantage by long jumping on one of the platforms as it's rising up. And you can get a ton of momentum because, again, when you're jumping on a platform that's moving up, you get a lot of height and distance. And you'll be seeing me try to abuse that a lot in this level, but it's actually pretty hard to do a lot of these super jumps, as I like to call them.
This is one of my absolute favorite stars in the series from a speedrunning standpoint. But again, this is hard tech to pull off.
Mm-hmm. if you miss them, you're probably going to die. And these first two especially are very, very hard just to get consistent at. But if I get them, it'll look really cool. So well, let's see what happens.
To looking cool.
Also, we're just going to ditch Luigi.
You can never escape Luigi.
Oh,
All right, let's try that again. Yeah, sometimes Mario likes to spin again for no reason. Okay. All right, let's try it. All right, I'm just not going to bother. At that point, it's not worth it. All right, let's try a different one. Let's try this one. There we go.
all right. Angle's a little off on that one.
All right, I'm going to wait here because I want this chomp out of my way. These last few aren't that hard, or so to speak. So you can actually cancel a...
He almost saved you.
Did I get the checkpoint?
I don't remember if you did or no. Yes, you did.
A difference between the first and second game is that in the first game, if you are in the general area of the game's checkpoint, it just activates it. But in this, you have to touch the flag.
I don't understand why that keeps happening. I keep, like, accidentally spinning again. All right, I just won't bother. All right.
Yeah, now we actually got to play the level.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You got to see one of them, so. But now we're coming up to an actually pretty hard level. And so if you thought the infinite flutters I've done so far in this run were crazy.
Oh, God.
This one's probably the hardest one.
It's the hardest set of flutters for sure. So I'm about to go to Bowser Jr.'s Fearsome Fleet, and this level is normally supposed to be just a bunch of auto-scrolling platforms and junk. But the nice thing about this level is that it's all basically all one height, and you get Yoshi right at the very start. So you can basically just infinite flutter all the way through. And I'm going to be going for the hardest set of flutters you can go for. The strat is basically called the question block flutter, and like they said, it's one of the hardest things you can do in this category, and it only saves like a few seconds over the other strat you would do.
I think it's the hardest flutter in the game by far.
Yeah, there's like 2 of the flutters are really complicated, so yeah. So this first flutter is going to be me infinite fluttering from the Yoshi egg up to a little asteroid, and then I'm going to infinite flutter from that asteroid to a question block where the airships are. Then from there, I need to get a pretty specific angle, and then infinite flutter through the comet meadow, go underneath this structure, and then rise up quickly enough so I could dismount onto the end platform of the stage. And you get no checkpoints during this, so if I die anywhere, I go back to the very beginning. So I'll try it until I get it, because it's a very cool looking shot.
This is the most terrifying strat I've ever seen in a speed run. You'll see when we get there.
So I'm gonna have a bit of serious. Okay. Come on. Come on, Yoshi. There we go. Again, side flipping in this game is hard. All right, there you go. So this flutter can be pretty difficult. It's easy to overshoot. All right, I'm actually kind of far back here, so I'm gonna have to flutter really slowly to get here. And I just reached the 10-second limit right here, so yeah, Yoshi's gonna flutter pretty slowly. If you have a better angle, you can make it. So, okay, serious time. This might be a bit too far to the right.
Let's go!
That is ridiculously difficult.
You're just looking at the planet below you. It is the scariest thing I've ever seen.
I've never even done
I'm
that.
so happy I got that first try. It was pretty slow, but whatever. I didn't die, we're good. And now we have another horrible pointer-based boss, which is just what I want right now.
I want to give a shout out to Viper because he has not given in and I don't know, taking the blame off himself at all. We had a lot of setup to try to get the pointers to work before this started.
Yeah, they're still bad.
And he has not been blaming the tech or anything. Tech's doing great, but we couldn't figure it out, and he's just worked his way through it, so.
I think this TV also has a little bit of input lag.
Man.
Okay, that's on my hit. I went for an early hit there where you're supposed to like you're supposed to like hit the you're supposed to like get both hits early. I'm actually not gonna go for that here because I want to cancel one of Mega Hammer's animations. When he's shaking his hammers there, he was getting ready to kind of like smash them together. And right here, I'm luring 3 Bull Bills and I just shot one away. So I'm gonna have to go for a bit of a back shot. Actually, this might work.
Well, that one works.
Okay, I'll go with that. So right here, he's supposed to lower his head so you can fire at him, but a side flip, oh, okay, it didn't store. Sometimes it doesn't store through the cutscene, so you have to do this.
We don't know why that happens.
And
It makes no sense.
So I was just gonna try to get up really high, suck up this bullet bill, and get the shot.
okay, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do this.
A lot of pointer issues. This boss sucks when the pointer isn't working correctly.
Yeah.
There we go.
And that's not really like a knock, again, like tech issues aside and everything. This is just how Mario Galaxy games are, unfortunately.
Yeah, if you're not playing on your setup at home, it's pretty bad.
Where you have a very specific, all right, the sensor bar is always at this distance, and I'm always sitting in this position.
And also when there's a lot of electrical interference, it can be pretty tough.
Yeah, still like an amazing flutter back there.
Yeah. Thankfully, it's not affecting my infinite flutters, which is really good. You can read some more donations now.
Alrighty. $25 from Rox82. Hey everyone, Rox here, and greetings from the back couch.
Hi, Rox.
What's up?
Woo! Rhombus with the blue hair next to me wanted someone to donate $25 for him to dab, so here you go, buddy. Good luck on your run, Viper, and can we get a shout out to everyone here in the crowd and watching the run at home, being the late night crew?
Late night crew.
Late night crew.
And the amazing signed by me exclusive Pika shades that Sludgy is wearing.
Yeah. We got them at GameWorks for $50.
Wait, how much did that cost?
50.
$50?
Well,
I was just
playing
at the Great
game.
Mall like earlier today.
Well, we spent 50 to get like play the arcade games, and then we won those.
Oh, okay. I thought that thing cost you $50.
Nah, it's $10 online. I checked.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm about to take you back and get your money back. I was about to be the angry mama about it.
All right, so World 4 is where the mistakes kind of start to get a little bit more severe, I would say, and the strats start becoming a lot harder. Although, all right, so now, first off, we have Sweet Mystery 1 here. If you thought, so you remember how the last star had a lot of infinite fluttering? This star is more or less the same. There's just a lot of infinite fluttering, and the level is all one height, so I can basically just do it from beginning to end. The IL for this star is insane, because Pato, who did the IL for this level, does it in one flutter. So when you bounce off of enemies or objects, you actually reset the timer for the 10-second before your speed dies, so you can regain your speed back, and he bounces off of like 3 different objects, and it's insane.
Also, that is kind of one of the more infamous galaxies of this game, Supermassive Galaxy. We get this convenient little fork in the road because none of the stars, unfortunately, in Supermassive Galaxy are super fast.
Yeah, and it just recently got routed out of any percent entirely, so that's nice because there's a strat you do in there that's pretty difficult to do as Mario. All right, so this stage mostly speaks for itself in terms of what the infinite flutters accomplish. This first one's a little tricky. The angle can be pretty hard to decipher.
He's going to be doing it effectively blind.
That shake I'm doing at the start of each flutter, by the way, gives me a little bit of acceleration. So here's the Bull Berry again. You can actually make that flutter go all the way over to the Comet Medal, but I decided to stop it a little bit early because my angle didn't look too good.
Normally, you have to use the Bulberry to go on all these invisible platforms, but that's no fun.
Normally in this section right here, they want you to stand on all the question mark pads right there to get a launch star, or
You can just do this.
we'll just
This
fly.
flutter is very scary because if you somehow fall, you land on an invisible floor and it takes like 20 seconds to find a ledge you can fall off of.
Oh, gorgeous star.
Not sure why that invisible floor is there underneath.
Yeah,
the
it's mainly because you skip the launch star, so like the kill plane doesn't load properly. But thankfully I got the checkpoint, so I wouldn't have had to go all the way back to the beginning.
And again, for anyone watching, because I know probably the majority of our audience has not ever tried to do a Yoshi flutter. I cannot tell you like how many ways there are to fail a Yoshi flutter, including just the fact that he's having this rhythm of flutter, crouch, flutter, crouch, flutter, crouch. And if he ever drops that rhythm or does them in the wrong order, Mario's just going to launch off the back of Yoshi, and you're going to die or at least lose a ton of time.
All right, so here's Flip Spell. This is a pretty fan favorite level. There's a lot of really cool skips, especially in this first star. This entire first star, like this entire level is just broken. You can skip planets. There's crazy gravity exploits that you're going to see me do here. And this entire galaxy in general is really good for speedrunning, but also very technical. Okay, that jump cancel doesn't matter. I have to wait for this guy anyways.
So instead of going to the center, he's just going to come up on this wall.
Which is going to be awkward because we're going to be upside down going in weird directions.
And whoop.
And then spin when he switches gravity, and he'll get right over here.
Nice.
Barely making it over.
So because I skipped the launch star there, I also unload a kill plane here, which means I can just backflip, slide off this roof, gain a little bit of backwards momentum. Now, I could elect to go to that starstream over here, but I'm going to be a bit smart, and I'm going to go all the way to the boss planet and skip the entire level.
Yeah. And this boss is easy, too.
It is easy.
So right there, I went for a frame perfect ground pound, but I timed my Z pressed a little too late, so Mario did a homing ground pound, which isn't that bad. But yeah, Glam Dozer here is pretty simple. So its chin is vulnerable, so I'm just gonna stand underneath it, and when it becomes vulnerable, I'll just ground pound right away.
Yeah,
And I'll
wait
do
for
that
the
let's do
iframes.
this. Doesn't even get a chance to attack.
It's fun to ground pound there.
Yeah, I do it all the time. It looks pretty neat. And it's just going to explode and turn into a star because that's logical.
As things do in 3D Mario.
Yeah, it happens a lot. All right, so coming up here, we're actually going to get a mail toad letter from a mysterious person, and they're going to give us 50 star bits. And this happens 3 times in this run, which will account for the remaining 150 star bits I actually need.
Now, I'm no expert, but I have a theory that mysterious person is Rosalina.
What?
Yeah. You ever consider that?
Come on.
Spoilers.
Bit far-fetched.
All right. And it's for the Luma, not Mario. Keep that in mind.
Mario's a thief.
I mean,
Mario's like, sure, I'll take it.
Luma's not going to use the star bits.
He eats them. He's hungry.
apparently they taste like honey.
That is what I've heard.
Is that in like a book somewhere that we learned they
Yeah.
taste like honey?
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy 1.
All right.
That's delicious. All right.
Flipsville 2, not nearly as interesting as Flipsville 1. These first 2 planets, you're supposed to use the spin drill, but Nintendo did not care at all when designing these planets, so you can skip the spin drill on both planets. Like right here, I'm gonna try to long jump around this wall and make it to the launch star.
Like they want you to go all the way around and dig, or just jump around the side.
They didn't even try.
And here, you can actually wall jump on this structure for no good reason.
It makes no sense, because there's a structure like that in Spin Dig that you can't wall jump on. So it just doesn't make sense.
All right, this part's can be pretty tricky. Oh, I didn't time that right. So that's unfortunately gonna cost me a cycle. Not a huge deal. It's only like, I don't know, 5 seconds maybe. This is like half auto scroller, half cycle based. It's nothing too much to say, so now would probably be a good time for some donations.
I can deliver on that. We have $505.
Wow.
Nice.
Woo! From Danny Not DeVito, who says, Mario is my favorite Guardian of the Galaxy. And we have $25 from Jabuffalo, all aboard the Pets train.
Save the animals.
Did you just say save the animals?
Yes.
Are you a save the animals connoisseur, Sludgy?
Yes.
They are adorable.
So sometimes when you drill there, you can just automatically grab the star. I'm not entirely sure what causes it. It usually happens when the gravity transitions earlier after the cutscene finishes. I don't know. This game is weird.
The spin drill makes your hitbox really weird.
Yeah, you'll see that a lot on the next star, actually. Oh, not in the next star. The next flip spell star I do in the Comet. We have to do Sweet Mysteries Comet first. Because there has to be at least one star in between the last main star in a galaxy you do and when the comet spawns.
This star is deceptively easy as well.
Deceptively difficult.
I know, we've
Whatever.
both done this now, yeah. We have the opposite of what we were going for.
But yeah, Yoshi runs faster than both Mario and Luigi, and ideally you keep Yoshi's speed for pretty much the whole level, but you have to collect every single purple coin, and it's easy to miss a purple coin, so,
You'll probably see me miss like 3 or 4.
which is still pretty good.
Yeah. So thankfully you don't really have to infinite flutter in this level unless you somehow fall off the stage, in which case you have to infinite flutter up to save yourself. I almost did there. And every time I jump, I'm going to be double tapping A because that will allow me to kind of do a short little flutter.
Yeah, so you can see you want to be walking just in the middle of them to where Yoshi's hitbox is snagging each purple coin. It's
Which is way more precise than it looks.
Yeah, it's pretty common that you're going to have to kind of bail out there once to have to get another fruit. But looking like you didn't have to bail out there, so pretty solid so far. Had to stop for 1 purple coin.
Yeah, you need to practice the star a lot if you want to get good at it. Also, you can just walk across those gaps. No big deal.
Yoshi's feet are thick. I don't know why.
Extra thick. All right, this block here is kind of on a cycle, but it's fairly lenient. I think it only starts moving once you get near here, so. All right, that wasn't too bad. Assuming I don't make a huge mistake right here.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That's tough. It's super easy to lose multiple seconds on that star just from having to turn around and get purple coins. And I kept Yoshi, because I decided to be nice for once.
That's like the second one out of 40-something stars that he's gotten to be a part of.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, fortunately.
Oh, well.
Sorry, not sorry. All right, and if you thought that star looked hard, this next star, even worse. So, Flipsville Comet is that room we saw in Flipsville 2 with the cycles of gravity changing and whatnot. But now we have to collect 100 purple coins. And this route I'm going to be doing was found by How to Cantaloupe about a year ago. And it's a few seconds faster than the previous route we did, but it's way, way more precise. The cycles you have to make are a lot tighter. So this first half, I'm probably going to use a bit of serious time here. And also, like they said earlier, I'm going to be utilizing the Spindrill's hitbox to try and collect purple coins, a huge group of purple coins, in one go.
But that positioning is still pretty specific, so we'll give him some serious time right here.
Yeah, this first half is really the more difficult part. If I can get past this first, like 50 coins, it won't be too bad. Barely made that. Oh. All right, so that's going to cost me like 1 whole cycle, but that's not the end of the world.
Side flipping already sucks in this game, but doing it with the
Yeah.
drill is even worse.
Especially in 2D. All right. This one's a little bit easier. There we go.
Nice, beautiful.
Now, unfortunately, this means that the fuzzy cycles are going to be a bit off. So this might be a little bit weird. Oh, never mind. Got him.
Yeah, nice positioning, actually.
All right, I only lost 1 cycle there. That wasn't too bad. This start can go catastrophically wrong. For example, in the world record, Nemi probably lost 40 seconds to this.
I believe it.
All right.
That was overall pretty good.
All right, let's see if I can. I wonder if I'll be able to automatically grab the star. Aw.
No.
All right, not too bad. And now I'm completely done with Sweet Mystery and Flipspell, so sayonara, those 2 galaxies.
Worst galaxies in World 4.
Yeah. And now we're going to be moving on. We're going to be going back and forth between 2 other galaxies, Chompworks and Starshine Beach. And they're both pretty interesting galaxies, to say the least. So Chompworks 1 is essentially mostly auto-scrollers, but there are a couple sections to this level that will require quite a bit of explanation. Like this first planet has a lot going for it. It's actually pretty technical.
Yeah, big thing is going to try to go for an earlier cycle on these chain chomps that come around to basically allow for a launch star to get out of here. And you're not supposed to be able to go up this slope over here to the left, but you can just ride the very side of it for whatever reason.
Yeah, you're not affected by the slope's physics when you run on the side there. Oh, that could have ended worse, but I'm happy that it didn't. All right, I'm going to wait for this chomp to move out of the way. There we go. And now I'm going to head back over here.
Just barely catching that chain chomp cycle.
And I'm going to long jump into this launch star because that will completely prevent a landing stun on the next planet. All right. All right, I'm actually going to play it a little bit safe here because I took damage earlier, so I'm not going to go for a damage boost here. And right here on this planet, there's a strat that we used to think wasn't possible, but I think Patal figured this out. Where if you just barely run up the left edge of that seesaw, you can get it to lower just enough so that this chain chomp can make it on without breaking, because otherwise the chain chomp would break way before you can make it there.
Yeah, for years we just assumed, all right, the first chain chomp has to die and then we'll catch the second one.
And then this next section's basically just an auto scroller.
Yeah, you actually can't make it to this chain chomp in time before it breaks.
Unless you use 2P.
Yes. So if you have a second player, in this game, they take the role of an orange Luma, and they can like hold enemies, keep them in place. They can grab coins, to grab star bits. they can do a bunch of stuff. They can like stun and kill enemies. I'm obviously not good enough to use two remotes at once, and I don't think any of them would want to play with me, so we're just gonna do this entire run once.
Your couch commentators have literally been fighting with each other to want to be the second player right now.
No, don't do it.
They're ready to make this a co-op run.
All right, so you can read a quick donation while we're waiting for this to finish up.
All right, we have $20 from Anonymous. Shine Get. Wait, sorry, wrong game.
Oh my God. Cool Cat, Starget, Cool Cat. Rip chat. It was probably already happening, don't worry.
Starget.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But thankfully I'm playing on the English version, so that doesn't really matter.
You Got a Star isn't nearly as fun.
So the next star, Chompworks 2, brings back everybody's favorite power-up. Who loved the spring mushroom?
No. Woo! What the heck, guys?
Someone from Nintendo probably got fired.
So it makes a comeback in this star, but thankfully we're able to skip it for almost all of it. And because, again, Nintendo is very good at making games. One noteworthy thing about this star is that there's actually going to be elevators on the very last planet that are on cycles. And this planet is visible from the elevators are moving from the first planet you're on. So if I don't get the jump cancel here, and if I don't have really good movement, it can be really hard to catch a really fast cycle here that saves about 5 seconds. It's not a huge deal if I don't make it, but yeah, I already am not gonna get it. Yeah, that wasn't very fast. All right.
There are some planets where you can get a landing or a camera cancel, but it's frame perfect, and that's one of them. And unfortunately, Viper didn't get it, but
I mean, it's frame perfect, so what do you expect?
Yeah, it is difficult.
And for some reason, if you spin with a nunchuck, you can also spin soon after wall jump. Also, shout out to Pac-Man.
It's a chain jump.
Waka, waka, waka.
It's Pac-Man.
Yeah, shout out to the Pac-Man World Run that's going to be taking place right after that. Please stay for that, because that is going to be a very good run.
Night Crew.
How is this unironically a Pac-Man block that's going on right now?
All right, so I didn't make the fast cycle. It's only about 5 seconds, so it's not a huge deal. It's very tight to make anyways. And even if you do make it, it's hard to stay on it.
A small thing we can't explain, you may notice with a lot of speed games, including Galaxy 1, you usually want to play in like a different language, like Japanese or something. This game, it doesn't really matter. The text moves so fast in this game that like it doesn't really change much.
Yeah, Japanese might save a little bit of time, but
It's like a few seconds, maybe.
yeah. It saves a lot more time in Galaxy 1 because text scrolls really slow in that game.
But it scrolls faster with Japanese.
Yeah. Another nice change from Galaxy 1 to Galaxy 2 is that the cooldown for launch stars is way shorter.
Yeah.
It's like less than a second in this game. It's like 2 seconds in Galaxy 1. So now it's Nintendo's attempt to pay homage to Super Mario Sunshine. Can we get some hype for that game, if anybody loves that?
Sure.
Got some Sunshine lovers. So this is Starshine Beach. It has a lot of SMS references. And it's actually one of the few open world galaxies in the game because it takes place all on this one gigantic planet, and everything's kind of spread out, and you can kind of do things in whatever order you want, really, especially for this star, because there's silver stars spread all about. And the route in this level is actually pretty neat. So first there's this planet, which has no reason to exist other than to slow us down.
I didn't know you could bunk on those.
I knew. It's happened to me a few times. So right here, I'm going to bounce on this crab to stun it for a little bit. I'm going to be grabbing it later after I get on Yoshi, who for some reason does not dissolve when touching water in this game.
It's almost like it's a better video game.
Yeah. So here I'm going to walk straight up to this glass and then fire that crabber so I can break it right away. And now I got this pretty tough infinite flutter to do because the perspective isn't the greatest. So it's often really difficult to judge where you are in relation to the tower.
That was like perfect.
Yeah,
Nice job on that.
Yeah, I actually started a little farther back because if you're too far forward, then you have to dismount off of Yoshi, and that can be really bad. And if you're too far back, all you really have to worry about is just fluttering slowly. All right, this section right here is, this part right here can be pretty tricky.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like what you saw in Hightail Falls 1 there, where if you dismount off of Yoshi while he's in Dash Pepper form and you are on a really steep slope, you can gain a lot of height. And so I just use that to propel myself into the last silver star.
This is like one of the few comet medals that are actually like kind of out of the way of the rest of the level, but it's still fast.
Really easy to miss if you aren't doing the route properly.
Jump off Yoshi.
No, we're going to bounce off the piano,
Oh,
remember?
this is the best. Boing.
That was a very good level. That level's very hard to do.
That was really strong.
Galaxy 2 version of Rat Bounce.
And that comet medal is very important because even though it's a little bit out of the way, I'm probably dedicating 10 seconds to it, it's actually going to net us one of the fastest comet stars in the entire run. One of the last ones we'll actually pick up in the game.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Starshine Beach 2 up next is...
I'm a checkster.
Yeah, that in a nutshell. So in Starshine Beach 2, you're supposed to it's very roundabout. You're supposed to go underwater, go to a tower, hit a switch to make a cloud flower appear, grab the cloud flower, but then Cloud Mario can't touch water, so you have to ride a lily pad all the way over to the tower, and then you can use clouds to get up. But our good friends from Piranha 5 are going to actually be helpful to us for once.
It's basically just a Sunshine level, normally.
Honestly, yeah.
It really does feel like a Sunshine level, what you're supposed to do here.
Yeah.
Because before you said that, I legitimately don't remember how you're supposed to do this star normally.
So basically, I'm going to try to use a chuckster to throw me, and then I'm going to spin onto the highest cloud and then jump off of that to try and get onto the tower. And it's another one of those cloud jumps where I only have a few frames to make it. And on the way there, I'm going to be turning the camera so that the cycles here are a little bit more favorable.
Again, trying to manipulate these cloud cycles.
I'm going to be a little bit early here, but that's fine.
Here's our buddy.
Whee!
Got to spin at the right time, got to jump at the right time.
And he made it.
Wall kick, let's go.
And you skipped the whole level.
Another one of those where you might watch something, oh, that looked mundane. You just let him flip you up and then you jump. You actually have to have a very specific timing of when you do the spin. Otherwise, you'll be a little too early. You won't get to the cloud and you won't be able to get the kick off the wall, actually.
Yeah, and the timing for jumping off the cloud, it might seem pretty tough, but it's actually pretty lenient. Once you figure it out, it's really not that difficult. And that skip saves a minute, so...
I'd say it's more than that. You have to go all the way around.
For me, it saves infinite time. It saves the amount of time for me going and buying an issue of Nintendo Power to tell me where to go.
All right, so here is Chompworks Comet, which is another pretty deceptively difficult star because this is basically the last section of Chompworks 1, but with Cosmic Clones. So don't mess up here and you'll be good. Not messing up is the hard part though, because if your Chomp breaks, that can be pretty bad. But this is basically going to be an auto-scroller, and the only really hard part is just trying to dodge the Cosmic Clones, which you could just do by playing it slow. So you can just read donations for this entire star.
Yeah, okay, I can do that. We have $5 from Sir Battlehawk. You got a moon! Oh, that's also not the right game.
Dude. Shouts to Battlehawk, my dude.
We have $100 from Dancing Bear 74. I love all Mario runs at GDQ. Best of luck, Super Viper, and thanks to all for donating to such an incredible cause. Now
you.
please pet the dog.
Thanks for that. Good luck.
Pet the dog.
We have $5 from @WeRateYoshis. They're good Yoshis, Voper. 100 out of 10.
I disagree.
We have $25 from Celestial. I've been donating for 3 years, and this is the game I've been waiting for.
All right, that should be right on top of the star. So if you actually play the star frame perfectly, you can get a free IL tied world record of 51.20 seconds, which I'm probably not going to get because I didn't break the chain jump frame perfectly. But yeah, if you want a free IL world record, you can just grind this star out. It probably wouldn't take you very long once you get the timing down. Yeah, 51.95. So next level is Bowser's Gravity Gauntlet, and this is a very interesting galaxy because there's actually, it's a pretty broken level. So both of the stars here that I'm going to be doing have pretty interesting skips in them. This first one more so than the other one. This skip is called Behind the Castle, and I think you'll understand why we call it that very shortly. So in the 2D section of the castle here, there's actually lava rendered behind it. And if you lava boost in the right way, you can enter the gravity field of the final 2D section of the level. But you have to be a specific distance away from the castle in order to make it work. So it can be pretty difficult. So, and it's another skip where I am going to try to get the life mushroom. So here's a little bit of a lava boost there.
Nice intended boost. Skipping on that slow section.
And you're going to need all the life you can get, so you want to grab the life stream for sure.
And the reason why I'm doing this on this star is because we have to get the Comet Medal, and this Comet Medal is right next to where you do Behind the Castle.
This trick is a lot harder than it looks, by the way.
Yeah, if I can even get it.
Good luck.
Uh-oh. Nope. I can save it. Maybe. I would like to try it again. What do you think?
Just get like a couple coins.
Let's try
you
it.
should
Grab
try it
some
again.
coins. It's cool looking.
All right.
Health?
I'll get that just to be safe.
I was waiting for you to trade health there.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's try this one more time.
Take two.
There we go. Let's see if I can get this.
All right.
No, I was.
Oh, wait. Oh, you made it.
Oh my God!
I thought you didn't make it.
I thought I was too close there for a second. So what I got kind of stuck there at first, which is what normally happens if you're too close.
Oh my God!
You have to be a very specific distance away from the castle in order to make that work.
Or some distance that we don't know about, apparently.
Yeah, and if you're too far away, you fall off and die, and dying to that skip is very bad. I'm happy I got to show that off, but yeah, that was pretty sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
And
the first time Behind the Castle has been shown at GDQ? I know Valu didn't get it hit.
it was shown when Yoshi Fan did his run at AGDQ 2014. And back then,
I was on the couch.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
and back then it was done 2 for 2.
My God, well, that was like a million years ago, so.
So yeah, shouts to Claire who once did a tutorial on that for her school.
I did. If anyone's watching that who saw that, this is where it would come in handy.
So this Bowser fight's a little bit more difficult than the previous one, mainly because in this fight only, Bowser will drop 2 meteors instead of 3. So he can actually punch out both meteors at once, which is terrible. And in addition to that, he also has these shockwaves coming off of both his meteors and punches. And also, I'm going to be going for something here called a punch cancel, where I'm going to actually wait to get the first hit on Bowser before I'm going to wait for him to start a punching attack, and then fire the meteor at him. And this is just going to cancel the punch attack right away. I'm actually kind of far away from Bowser. This might be bad. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
That should work. Yeah, so he's supposed to punch there, but because I waited, he didn't.
Another thing to note is, for some reason, with each Bowser fight, his shell hitbox gets bigger. You can actually hit his shell with the meteor, and it bounces off. And I don't know why they did that, but it gets bigger with each fight.
It's the most obscure little thing they added to it. Then a lot of times you won't even notice if you're aiming it right. Then all of a sudden you'll just go, "Pwing!"
And then you lose time.
All right. Like I said, each missed hit loses about 20 seconds. So you can go ahead and read some more donations for a while. It's basically just the fight and then the cutscenes again.
Okay. We have $25 from Inland Tangerine. Hey, y'all. Been watching GDQ for a couple years. Now I can finally donate. Watching this made me rebuy both Mario Galaxy games. Can we hear some Yoshi impressions?
Yoshi!
$10 from Shenanigans. $10 because $5 train isn't enough to make sure that dog gets a good pet. And $50 from Zuleika. Love watching AGDQ all cozy with my fiance. Love you, Figgy. Thanks for being awesome, guys. Money goes toward runner's choice.
Actually, what is there? I haven't really decided on a runner's choice yet.
Oh, we have several choices. We have the Diablo 2 Secret Cow level coming up a bit later this morning, which is at 3,500 or 40,000. We have the ever-popular Octopath Pet the Dog, less than 1,500 to go on that one. Or you want to add a new game to the game, we have bonus game TaskBot Plays Celeste, which is at 13K of 175,000.
Let's do the Cal level.
All right.
That sounds entertaining.
Oh, believe me, it is.
Give me the thing with the cow. That sounded funny.
Basically, my life in a nutshell. Yeah, you can keep going with donations.
Certainly. We have $5 from Anonymous. Dog Pet Dono Train Hype.
Hype. Late night hype. Also, nice coin count.
I mean, it's one less than 70.
Yep. It's a pretty solid number.
I don't get it.
So we just finished World 4, so naturally the next world we're going to go to is World 2. Am I getting this right?
No.
Is that how numbers work?
We might go overestimate. He's going backwards.
I don't know. I haven't done math in like
A few weeks.
I haven't done math in like a couple days, so I forgot how to count.
Yeah, so I'm actually just going to be backtracking to get some star set. A combination of stars that I either could have gotten earlier, but for routing convenience, it's better to get them now, and some stars I couldn't have gotten earlier. So we're just going to use our trusty grand world map to go from World 5 to World 2.
Yeah, this is where having a big world map is very convenient, as opposed to the first game.
So here's Boulder Bowl 1. We used to do this as star number 15, but due to the Honey Bloom 1 route, we can do the star later. This star has a somewhat finicky skip, gravity exploit you can do here to skip a planet that normally involves killing a bunch of enemies that are really random and obnoxious.
Absolutely awful planet.
Yeah, and you can do the skip both with and without Rock Mario. With Rock Mario, it's a lot harder, but I have to do it on this star because I need Rock Mario to get the Comet Medal here.
And if you fail the skip, you die and you have to start over and get the Comet Medal again. So it kind of sucks.
Yeah. Every time whenever I have Rock Mario, you're going to be seeing me do a lot of like jump spins because that kind of speeds Mario up by a few frames. All right, so I'm going to try the skip here. This requires a pretty specific lineup here, so I'm going to play it a little bit safe. Got it.
Nice, you got it.
First try, good stuff. That trick saves an actual year because that planet is awful. He skipped over.
Yeah, there's a couple of good visual cues you can use to time when to spin there, but yeah.
That planet he skipped, in the entire 100% speedrun, you see it for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog joke.
So this boss can be rather annoying as well. This first hit isn't too bad, but for these next 3 hits, I'm going to try to get Rolladillo without having it notice me, because it will do this rolling attack that wastes a few seconds. And the reason why this is so bad is because you're trying to chase it while it's trying to chase you, which can make things pretty awkward. You can't just go in like a straight line. I'm also doing these jump rolls, these jump spins to, okay. Yeah, that was my fault. I probably should have just stopped. I had a really bad angle. Okay. Oh, okay. I guess you're not supposed to long jump here. There we go. All right, I think it's going to do it one more time, and then I'll be good. There we go. We got this coin just for
One
safety.
more hit. Yeah, so baits it out just far enough that he can pick up the acceleration.
Oh,
Close. You can basically hit it. He was actually a lot closer than you think. It's not just the butt you can hit. You can hit all the way up to, I kind of imagine, like it's armpits.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to go back and forth here a few more times.
yeah.
Boss kind of sucks.
Especially once you mess up, because then you get thrown off your pattern, and it's really difficult to get back on it.
Again, still hit the major skip in the stars, so that's definitely the most important thing.
Sonic the Hedgehog boss is bad, just like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh.
I didn't mean it, by the way. I'm sorry. Any Sonic
If
fans?
you specifically mean Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 edition.
Yes, that's the one.
That's right. Yeah, that's safe face. There you go.
I love that game.
I'm glad I've never played it, because I've heard really bad things about it.
So once again, like I said, the routing here works out to where, because you just got the rock power-up, the different power-ups that bring you down here to the basement are tied to specific stars where you utilize the power-up. So he's showing you this, but conveniently, because you just got star number whatever.
It's actually a mail-tailed letter you get from completing both this star and a star in Chompworks.
That's what it is. Okay.
Okay, so doing this star after Chompworks 1 is a brilliant routing idea that was just recently thought of, and I think it was JDA7 who came up with
Yeah,
the idea.
it was JDA7, Aleus, How to Cantaloupe, they helped out.
Yeah.
Pods helped a lot with testing the route. And then I think Claire and you and I did quite a bit of timing for Comet Medals.
We did, yes.
I did nothing.
You don't.
I watched. I won these glasses.
All right, so this is the Hightail Falls Comet. It's not unlike the previous speed run Comet we did earlier. There's no clocks I need to collect here. It's just like one 3-minute timer. Yeah, 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
So basically, I just kind of have to get to the end. It's basically Hightail Falls 1, except now there's a few holes in the ground and there's meteors falling, neither of which really get in the way. And also the ending strat's going to be a little bit different because I no longer need the Comet Medal because this is the Comet. So yeah, this should be pretty straightforward. This is basically going to be what you saw already up until near the very end.
Biggest thing is don't let one of those kissy-wissy things give you a kissy-wissy. Otherwise, you have to shake to get them off.
And it's a little obnoxious.
They're just trying to make friends.
Shouts to Obnoxious 101, also known as Alex.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Alex is? He's a mod in the Discord.
I mean, I don't know who Obnoxious is.
Oh.
So here I'm going to be trying to jump these gaps just to kind of make going in a straight line a little bit easier. And unlike Hightail Falls 1, I'm actually going to be taking the launch star this time, and I'm going to be going for this, what I like to call a leap of faith. All right, let's see if my faith is strong enough. Is my faith strong enough?
This has to be a super late jump.
I was a little early there. My faith was not strong enough. Let's try again.
First try.
And now, just get just enough height.
And
Nice.
get shaky. So that is faster if you're not getting the Comet Medal.
And it utilizes a mechanic called tilt. It's really complicated, but basically when Mario is leaning forwards or backwards on a planet that due to its gravity, his jumps will go lower and higher respectively. So because you're leaning super far back on that planet, you can just go super high. And we use that to clear that entire distance. And now it's time for one of the worst stars in the entire run.
It's RNG.
It's all RNG. So we need a lot of blessed RNGs in the chat for this one.
Oh, this awful start.
I hate this stuff.
You didn't know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, wait, the Goomba thing? Oh, no, this stupid start. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 30 crabbers on this planet, and you have to kill them with Rock Mario, and they move in just incredibly random patterns, and if you run out of time, you have to redo the entire thing. So let's not do that.
That's 1 fat minute lost, so hopefully we can avoid it.
And casually, most people don't know, but you can actually jump and press Z to get out of like your spinning Rock Mario animation. If you don't do that casually, this level's like impossible.
That was a nice big chunk of 8, though.
Yeah, you want to kind of hope that they group up until you reach about 24, 25, and then you can start focusing on like the individual ones. And the blue crabbers are the worst because their movement is like the most erratic. All right, this is not a horrible start so far, but it could be a little bit faster. All right, I'm gonna try to get this sucker right here. Nice.
Nice.
So I think that's all the blue crabbers. So now I'm gonna try to start focusing on the individual ones.
Again, if you don't know about this piece of tech where you can jump and press Z to stop the rock right away, it's so hard.
It's awful.
Where's the last one? Oh, okay, I guess it was right there. And I'm right next to where the star was. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't
not
too
too
bad.
bad.
It's pretty good.
I finished that with like, what, 15 seconds left? Mm-hmm.
I saw 19.
And I've had to finish that star with 1 second remaining on the timer. It's very scary.
Ugh.
And one time I actually got the last crabber with 1 second remaining and the game didn't count it. That was very fun.
Dang.
Sometimes video games suck.
It's a known fact. So we've been killing a bunch of creatures this run, and I know I've been a big advocate for killing the animals, but sadly, we have to save a creature here, despite its ever-growing will to die in Mario games.
It's a Goomba.
Yeah. So this is the letter star I got for a Boulder Bowl 1, so I'm going to re-enter Boulder Bowl 1, and I'll be able to skip the cutscenes again because I've already seen them. And also, I'll be doing the easier version of the Boulder Bowl 1 skip because I don't need Rock Mario this time.
Yeah, because Rock Mario, when you spin, he just stops you dead in your tracks. It makes that skip really difficult, but with this one, you keep, like you have momentum to your left, and then you can just go into the gravity field way better.
All right, and like right here, you don't even need to set it up. You can just run to the left, long jump off, spin.
Hey, you're good.
Nice.
I spin really low there.
So you need to bring this Goomba over to the gear mount.
And this Goomba is an idiot, basically.
It's not nice.
So the way to make this, because this is actually like casually, I think, some of the more infamous stars where you have to bait these over. But a good little setup there is just let him run into you while you let the boulder go, and then safely he can get over here.
There's a few ways to soft lock in this level.
Yeah, sometimes the game can just soft lock on that cutscene for no reason. But thankfully, this game auto-saves, so it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, unlike Galaxy 1 where you actually save time because you can choose between saving or not saving, here it just saves every time.
Which is very useful because it's very rare that it happens. It's only ever happened to me once ever, and I've been running this game for almost, I think it's about 4 years actually at this point, and it's only happened to me once, so it's extremely rare, but it can still happen and it really sucks. Yeah. So now we get to go right back to killing creatures because we get to visit our good friend Gobblegut again.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah, after we get bothered by lava once more.
Yeah, this Gobblegut fight is basically the same. You just skip the level before it.
Yeah, even though, and Nintendo does give you way too much time to do these missions. So it's just going to be pretty lenient. It's basically going to be the same thing you saw earlier. Might as well go ahead and try to get some donations in.
Alrighty. We have $50 from Freak for Link. I can never catch GDQ. Still almost missed every Mario speedrun, but at least I can hear Spike Vegeta. Donations tend to be chosen by someone that Spike can choose, but not him.
Yo, my boy's shaded. What do you want?
I guess he's not here right now.
No, he's right there. He's sitting over there.
Oh, okay.
You want to pet the dog? I mean, who doesn't want to pet a dog? Yeah, we'll pet the dog. Woo!
All right.
I should have literally went out and found like a janitor. Nice.
He gets the first hits.
That was good first hits. So once again, same as the first fight, he's going to try to bait the dragon now down into the ground, giving him just some spacing to hopefully be able to break orbs 2, 3, and 4.
Orb?
Good long jump. Good backflip. Good dodge. Beautiful fight.
That was a perfect Gobblegut.
Yeah.
So you'll notice in-game time, not including cutscenes, you're actually only in that level for like 12 seconds.
If you're good. If you're
good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like 2 minutes.
Thankfully, it didn't get to the point where, like, if you screw one thing up, you lose, like, 20 to 30 seconds super easily.
That Starbit wanted to come along for the ride. Viper was able to pick up on that and just shoot it off to the side real quick.
I can hear the noise pretty easily. Mm-hmm. And we're completely done with Worlds 1 and 2, so now we're finally going to get to go on to World 5. It's been, like, what, 11, 12 minutes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of now routing in like cleanup comet stars because now the requirements are actually pretty big. We have to, I believe we need 55 to go to World 5 and then
55.
70 eventually for 6.
All right, so we're going to start off with Space Storm. Space Storm 1 is actually a pretty difficult star to do fast. The second planet in particular has a lot of moving elevators that are all on cycles. Getting the fastest cycle requires a pretty difficult long jump that you have to do. That's got a lot. You have to have finicky inputs you have to do, and it saves around 5 seconds in platform cycles if you could get it.
Yo, Polestars.
We'll be seeing a lot more of those near the end of the stage.
Good Polestar movement there, honestly.
All right, so here comes the finicky long jump. That might be a little early. All right. Got it.
Got it.
Oh,
All right, where are we here?
Very nice.
that was a
Planet. That
great
was pretty
second
good.
planet. That one's tough.
So here, the star name is Follow Me Bob-omb, so you would think you would have to do this kind of thing a lot, but this is the only time in the level you actually have to do this, so I don't know. I've always found that kind of weird.
Theming? Sure.
And instead of walking all the way there, we're just gonna long jump there. And now we have the most fun part of the star, sarcastically, Polestars.
It's very easy to run into a bunch of electric balls here, but Viper's good.
Hopefully.
You obviously want to optimize trying to grab as far away the Polestars that you can grab so you're always at top speed, or at least as close to top speed as you can feel like you're going.
That was a good level. All right, so up next is Space Storm 2. By getting that 1 star, which is actually one of the few stars in the run where you have to get it. There's no way to get around it. It actually opens up a lot of World 5. Also 112, that's a really good IL time for that. And it just opens up pretty much all of World 5, which is pretty neat and very convenient for us.
Opens up a lot of routing options.
But we're not going to go into there quite yet because there's still 1 more star in a Space Storm we need to get. And this is a star that actually plays homage to a buoy-based galaxy from Galaxy 1. So if you enjoy the music, you're not going to hear it for very long.
This is probably the second fastest star in the run.
If you do it optimally, but that's the hard part. Doing it fast can be very difficult.
Yeah, we're seeing all these platforms right here. Normally the game wants you to stomp on those switches, which will slow down time to where you can move up it, but I don't know. We'll see what Viper can do.
I waited a little long there to grab that Polestar. I might still be able to make this. So instead of going to the right and dealing with all that stuff, I'm just going to jump to the left here and jump on this wall. Oh. You need sometimes it's very easy to get kind of anxious and try to go for a long jump without accelerating enough. I cannot believe I just saved that. All right, that wasn't too bad.
Great star. I said there were some mishaps, but you adjusted really well to them.
Yeah, that ending part is very cycle based. So if you don't make that, it can be very. You just have to you just kind of have to hope the elevators are on good cycles, and they weren't. But I was able to salvage it. And 30-second time. That's only about 2 seconds lost to an average Space Storm 2. That's done almost optimally. So we're gonna finally move on into the bulk of World 5. And we're going to start by going to Shiverburn Secret here. So if you missed your opportunity to guess in the skating minigame earlier, you didn't get it right, this is your second chance. It's pretty much the exact same thing, except now the high score required is 600.
That's the only difference.
That's actually the only
That's it.
The patterns are
the exact same, and they can still be rotated in the same way. So you guys got any guesses this time?
I kind of want to go out on top, but 720 in the back. I'll go 770 again. It worked last time.
740.
710.
I'm feeling 750.
I don't remember what I guessed.
All over the sevens.
Yeah, so, you just kind of skip that C there by using clouds. So this is basically the same minigame as before, so you can read some donations.
All right. We have $30 from Narpunks. This is my first time having work off for an entire GDQ event. This is the sickest run I've seen so far. Donation goes to Viper's Choice because he's killing it. Hashtag Late Night Crew.
Late Night Crew.
We have $500 from Anonymous.
Wow.
Who says, hi.
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 Howdy.
Come on.
Come on, 740.
Come on. But don't do too good.
Don't rig it this time. Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, baby.
Go hit something. No.
Oh, yes. No. You should have went to the other one. If he went to the green one, I was 2 for 2.
You should have hit the purple one.
I wanted to freeze time in that moment. Take the Wiimote and nunchuck and go to the right.
I wouldn't have liked that.
It's rigged.
You wouldn't have known. I would have frozen time.
True.
I guess you have a point there. But yeah, 800 is actually pretty decent for me.
Yeah, 770 would have been better.
I mean, either way, I still would have won the minigame.
Yeah, exactly.
I showed the chimp who's boss. So at the end of the day, that's all that really matters.
That's
right?
all that matters.
All right, so now we're going to be moving on to Shiverburn 1. And this is actually a pretty
Cool start.
It's got a lot to it, and there's a few really difficult sections here. So at the very start here, I'm going to be doing another gravity exploit where I basically long jump to the planet, the second planet, because it's right behind where you start from the very start of the first planet using clouds. And I'm going to be going for the slightly harder variant of this, where you use this elevator as kind of a launch pad.
This skips like almost all of the first and second planets, so it's really big.
This is the level with the weird aliens that you see on those YouTube videos.
It is.
I thought about making that comment. Let's see what he's looking
I'm
at
a
the
little low here. I was a little low.
You started to switch gravity there.
I was a little low. I might have been able to make it if I like spun. All right.
Relatively early on in the stage, so not a big death.
I'm gonna kill this guy for a coin just to be safe. Actually,
I would have just killed him for revenge.
Yeah.
That's bad because I kind of need to be at full health after this section. There we go. I didn't get the backflip last time. All right, let's try this again. That's much better.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
All right.
right.
You'll have to come up with some alternative strats, but there is a
right.
life shroom later on. Nice save.
All right, I'll go ahead and grab the life shroom because I could kill an Octuma.
Yeah. You only need 2 health.
Oh, he was like, kill me, you say.
All right, so we're gonna go. Okay, I'm just gonna go over and grab the.
Okay.
That works.
The
too.
ultimate life refill, death.
Now you have 3 health.
That works.
Just as planned.
Yeah.
So the camera has changed here to just change some of the meteor cycles, which is kind of messed up after dying, but
All right, I'll just go over here and grab this coin for safety.
Come hell or high water, we will not get that life shroom.
Nope.
All right. And I'm gonna skip past these guys by just long jumping past them.
normally you have to hit the, coconuts?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I always forget.
Mango.
The coconuts. They're cantaloupes.
Shouts to How to Cantaloupe.
Yeah, they're coconuts. So now we have Prince Picante, where I get to show off the strat that no one does, even though it's free.
It's bad.
It's lame.
So this is the no RNG strat, and it's very consistent. Only loses a few seconds if I can pull it off. So I'm going to skip that first coconut intentionally. I'm going to try to hit the second one a little bit late. All right. So if I did that right, which it looks like I did, so now he's never going to go to that side of the battlefield on the second or third hits, which means he won't do this upwards firing attack that wastes quite a bit of time. It doesn't really waste time. You can actually save time by doing a faster strat with it, but it's very RNG dependent and a little tricky, and I'm not very good at it. So I just have to do this strat because it's consistent.
When he shoots upwards, if you are doing that strat, you can triple jump towards his mouth, and you can hit one of the coconuts as he's firing it out, and then you can hit another one as it's falling from the sky. But as Viper said, it is RNG. But it's cool looking.
But it's
Everyone
let's face
knows,
it, that's half the reason why we speedrun.
yeah, everyone knows the most important part of a
Yeah.
speedrun is looking cool.
Yeah, honestly, this game I would say is more skip heavy than Galaxy 1. And the skips, in my opinion personally, they're a lot more impressive in this game than they are in Galaxy 1. They're a lot harder to do as well.
And a lot more punishing.
That too. You've seen that a couple times already, I think.
Yeah, Sludgy, I know you've talked about between Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2. Galaxy 1 is a lot more accessible, I would say, in
Yes.
terms of, like, you can find pretty fast strats, pretty good intermediate strats in Galaxy 1. Whereas Galaxy 2, it's like, you're either doing the beginner strats a lot of the time,
Or the hard ones.
or the hard ones, and you're sacrificing, like, sometimes 30 plus seconds to not doing the hard ones.
All right, here's Upside Dizzy. This is kind of the sequel level to Right Side Down, where there's going to be a lot of interesting gravity tricks and whatnot. So there's a lot of interesting gravity, and this level is horrible when it comes to doing fast, because you have the gravity changes in so many awkward places, and you have to have really good movement in order to like get through everything. And there's also a lot of cycles, especially in this first
Yeah,
part.
cycles, cycles, cycles.
This time around, you're not in control of whether or not the gravity switches.
All right, I'm going to long jump into this gravity field here, which will make me go super high.
Wee.
All right.
This is so much fun.
I'm going to go for a little Goomba bounce to get into this pipe here. I don't think this has ever been done at a GDQ before. And I'm the first one to do it.
Yeah. And then right here, he doesn't control the gravity swapping at all. If you don't know what you're doing here, you lose an actual year of time.
Yeah, you just stumble through here if you don't have a really consistent way of doing this. All right, and my strat basically requires me to get hit by that laser. Oh.
Nice triple jump score right there. Heck yeah.
Messed up a little at the end, but we'll take it.
Did you know you got a star?
I did.
It's pretty
Star
sick.
good.
I watched it happen.
Thanks for noticing.
Yep.
Very
here too.
observant.
They won't let me leave. I have to see every one of them.
All right, so next up is the Secret Star, and if you remember Right Side Down, it's another one of those box-breaking mini games. For casuals, this is usually a lot harder. For speedrunners, it's actually a little bit better because you don't have to throw the fireball as nearly as awkward of angles, and they're more tightly packed together. For me, it's actually getting to the box mini game that's the hard part. So I'm going to be going for this pretty finicky Goomba bounce here to get into the pipe. And sometimes the game can just flip your direction after this initial backflip for no good reason. And that can be pretty annoying. And it didn't there.
Nice.
Beautiful movement. Yeah, that was good. Now he's going to try to chain this into a triple jump and hopefully be able to break these top two boxes.
All right, I'm not. Yeah, I messed that up. That is super hard.
Yeah.
So now we're just gonna go here. All right. So here we go. Optimally, I'll get a 9 on the clock here, but I'll probably aim for something like an 8 or a 7, or let's see. Something important to point out is that the fireballs don't actually come out of Mario's center. They come out of his. Oh, okay, that was interesting. They actually come out of his right hand. All right, I'll get those two in a little bit.
Oh, that's tight.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried.
We're shooting for the 9. We'll take the 2. Let's go.
As long as you don't fail.
I was
That's
about to
what's
say,
important.
that's the big time loss.
All right.
At least it doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
You were so calm and collected about that. You're like, I'm not even worried about it. I was watching the timer going, well, I'm worried about it.
Yeah. Once you really get into this game, it takes a while to get consistent at everything in this game. But once you've figured everything out, it can be a really fun game to just run, especially when when you can pull off all the strats in a run. Like I've been doing a pretty decent job of showing off all the big stuff.
Yeah,
I'd
for
say.
sure.
And this is the last time we'll be brought down to the engine room. Thank God. See ya.
Yeah. Shouts to the engine room. Let's go.
The most useless part in the entire game, pretty much.
Hey, engine room, that's my favorite dome.
In Galaxy 1.
Ah.
Oh yeah, that does exist. So here's the other spoopy level of the game, Boo Moon.
Luigi's Mansion 3 is looking pretty good.
So when I last messed around with any percent, the 70 star category in this, Boo Moon 1 was not a thing. I believe we're going to do the secret first, but
Yeah.
there's a pretty weird strat to get it into the 70 star route.
Yeah. So on this first planet here, it's only faster to long jump at the beginning and the end. Everywhere else, it's slower because of the way the gravity works. So yeah, I just kind of have to run here, and then I'll long jump into this launch star. Here's another place where I can't get a camera cancel unless I get it framed perfectly. And I got it.
Oh, yo, nice. That's 1/60th of those seconds.
All right, so this long jump here is pretty scary.
Okay.
This is basically just an auto-scroller, but
Yeah,
it's short.
but you can skip some parts of it, like I'm about to do again right here. This is way more lenient. And you can spin to save yourself as well.
That song was terrible.
I know, I'm sorry. My musical talent isn't that great.
So notice how the gravity kind of switches here and brings up a little wall once Viper landed on the arrow platform. That's going to matter in the next level.
All right, so there's a common metal on the way here, and I don't want to take this launch star. I'm actually going to long jump past it. And here's a skip every casual player should do because it's much easier than doing this the intended way.
Uh-oh.
It ate my spin.
It's still hard. It's still easier than the other way.
Yeah.
It's a very weird camera angle.
Yeah, and the game kind of ate my spin input there, which happens even when you're not, even in your setup that you're normally used to. So it's not entirely.
Motion controls are innovative.
They really need to stop using them. You can read a donation if you want. I'm just going to need to get back there.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. We have $50 from Zathad Harkonnen 104. Hello from Aotearoa. As always, keep up the craziness. And if I can hear the lowest energy hype from the crowd, I'll throw in another 50.
Hype. Okay.
All right, let's not get my spin input eaten this time, game.
Let's give this star some hug.
There we go.
Wow, he got a star. Oh,
Space Mario.
Oh my God.
Space Mario the 2.
Galaxy one's better. I'll stop.
Look, you don't have to have the same opinion as me, but if you do, you're wrong. If you don't have the same opinion as me, you're wrong. All right, so now we're going to go back in and do Boom Moon 1. So this star has a skip that was found in like late 2015 by Nemi, who finds most of the stuff in this game these days. And it's pretty wonky and a little bit finicky, so there's a good chance I'll mess it up, but it does save a little bit of time, and it does make this star fast enough to be in the route. Even still, if you're planning on learning this game, I would do this star anyways, because it's really easy to do just with basic strats. It's pretty easy to do consistently fast compared to other stars.
Before Boom Moon 1 got put in, Supermassive Secret was also done. So now we've routed out 2 Supermassive levels.
And
All of Supermassive.
It's great.
thank God.
Supermassive Secret is bad.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I've had instances where I've landed in when the dark matter, which instantly kills you, and then as I was thinking, I spun and grabbed the checkpoint.
So you notice here, he's going to bring the wall up to activate kind of a gravity zone, and then he's going to come back here, and I'll let him focus. And you can get right on the star. It's hard to explain that skip. You kind of just have to mess around with it to figure it out because it's really confusing which direction to hold.
Yeah. Your controls on there are a little bit weird because of the different gravity field. All right. And here's the last little server star section. This is pretty self-explanatory, so you can read a couple more donations.
Alrighty. We have $5 from Floorman. There must be 50 ways to Yoshi hover. Just hop on his back, Jack. Just let him fly, guy. Let him up in the air, Claire. He'll fly infinitely. Just let him hover, Glover. He loves to flutter. Then let him go, Mario, and drop him into the sea.
That took a weird turn.
It was so
I gotta
happy.
give you credit. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
It was so happy.
And so was that star. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Getting the skip first try is pretty satisfying. And now we're going to move on to the last star before we do the boss fight here, which is a Shiverburn Comet. This star is another pretty standard one. You basically, it's another romp comet where you have to kill 30 Octoombas in a time limit. And you use the Rainbow Star again. You might be wondering if it takes place on the arena where Prince Picante was. So you might be wondering whether or not it's faster to skate or to run. The answer, it really doesn't matter, but it's easier to turn while running. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to skate to build up momentum and then just jump and get out of the skating state and go into a run.
I feel like it was a small oversight. I don't think you're supposed to run on ice normally with Ice Mario, but you can by jumping.
In 242, the star's done with Luigi, which is one of the many reasons 242 is way better than this category.
That's debatable.
No, it's better.
All right.
Dude, I feel like no one runs 120. 120 seems like the superior category. 242 is a lot.
Best categories,
fair.
obviously green stars.
I love
Just green stars.
I like Commentless.
All right, get off the couch.
I have world record in that.
Also, former Dark Side world record holder.
Yeah.
I'll beat it someday. I'll beat the comment list world record someday, don't worry. Oh yeah, and I just did this all on Run Rainbow Star.
Yeah, they give you 2 safety ones on either side, but if your movement's good, you only need the 1.
All right, so now we get to go on to one of my least favorite levels in the entire run. This level is a nightmare.
Again, every single boss stage ends up being actually pretty difficult in the speedrun.
Yeah, and this one's no exception. So you might have noticed that so far I haven't really had to do any like motion control based levels. I haven't had to do Fluzzard or the ball rolling games. That's not going to change. But this level has cannons, which are pointer based. Not very fun. Even like obviously I've said like this isn't like my home setup, so things are a little awkward here and things have been a little off lately, but. Even when you're just normally running the game, this star is awful. You have 2 cannon shots to make here, and they're both really precise. And if you miss them, you're very likely going to die.
It's nothing compared to the second green star in this level.
Oh, God.
It's like so precise for no reason.
And it's barely visible when you're in the cannon.
Yeah, off here on this first plane, he's first got to wait to bait out this bullet bill to bring him over to break open the cage. Also, shouts to Captain Toad. See you, Captain Toad.
He got his own game.
Yeah, it's a cool game.
I haven't played it.
Neither have I. All right, so this first cannon shot is very tricky. I'm probably going to miss this.
Yeah, he's actually going to try to aim and kill the boomerang bro right here.
Might be a little low. Okay.
All right, good enough. Didn't die.
If you're too high, sometimes you'll kill him, but then you'll just keep going and then you'll die.
Which does not feel good.
No, it doesn't.
All right, that was still not terrible. I was able to back that pretty quickly. This next cannon shot is also pretty tricky. I have to aim for a platform, and the timing window is a little bit weird. That should work.
Hopefully she'll be able to catch just the corner here. Nice.
And now you're supposed to use clouds to get to the end of this next section, but that's just a suggestion. I think I long jumped a little early there. That's probably what happened.
Maybe it's the glasses, but I thought that was pretty good.
I thought that looked really good.
Yeah.
Cannon shot number 2.
All right, let's wait here. That should also be fine.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna wait. I could have reacted to that a lot better. I probably should have waited an extra platform cycle, but the cycles there can be pretty awkward to deal with sometimes. You know what? I'm just gonna do the normal strat now. I'm not gonna bother with that anymore.
The cycles are really weird if you die.
I'm just gonna aim for the target. I've blown a lot of lives this run, so we'll get a free one-up out of this.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
You know, from the headset, I couldn't tell if that clapping was from the game or from the audience.
The last time the audience actually clapped for you in here for getting 100 coins back in like Fluffy Bluff. They're like, yeah, he does deserve your applause for that. Woo, let's hear it.
Okay, this boss either goes really well for you or really well for Bowser Jr.
No in between. No in between at all.
He's so happy.
He's not going to feel that way soon.
Sludgy has a theory about this boss fight.
Pretty sure Bowser Jr. dies in this fight.
I mean, you don't see
in
it.
chat.
He's not in 3D World or Odyssey after this, so... You basically just use Cloud Flowers to go all the way up to the head.
And again, canceling each of like the little floatiness after each cloud animation. Nice reaction to that orb right there.
That wasn't a reaction. The game just ate my spin.
Oh, well, good job, game.
You're not supposed to tell them that.
I know. All right, this last phase is very tricky. If you mess this up, you're losing a lot of time.
I gotta move quickly to grab those.
And he starts coming towards you. Time is of the essence. But that was very nice.
Oh, beautiful.
This is where he dies, by the way.
See ya.
F's in chat.
Yeah.
Sad. He didn't deserve it.
Canonically, we have not seen him since that moment.
I mean, he's not in... I mean, he did think Peach was his mom at some point.
Bowser Jr.'s having a hard time.
All right. This is just more, cutscenes and whatnot.
Last Grand Star cutscene, because we're going into the final world.
Yeah, you can read some more donations. That's fine.
Sounds good to me. $25 from Ruben6. Coworker in Australia put this on our TV. Now I have the urge to pet dogs.
That is a strange urge, in my
Like,
opinion.
that's a normal urge.
I don't know what you're talking about. I get that urge all the time.
We have $18 from Sushi Elemental. Let's have a cow level. Completely and utterly a grazing.
What?
That's not a joke.
Look, cows graze, therefore.
You don't have to explain.
Oh, so-
This will be hilarious, Send.
All right, so
I liked it.
It's late.
It's 2 a.m. They'll laugh, sure.
World 6 is about 40 minutes, give or take, and it's definitely one of the hardest It's definitely the hardest part of any percent, especially for when you're on really good pace. This is where your runs go to die, essentially. There's a lot of really hard stars here and a lot of really punishing tricks. So Melty Monster 1 is a it used to be a pretty annoying star for me. It still is, just because there's a lot of tricky movement you have to do here. And there are tornado cycles on this planet right here that are global cycles from the moment you enter the level. So you have to have pretty good movement once you start the level here. And you have a Pulsar section to go through.
Bye, Luigi.
Yeah, still not going to use him. Although since the perfect run was met, if I'm not mistaken.
Then
Trying to make sure he carries a lot of speed coming out of this one. Just enough. See ya.
Yeah. I don't
Wow,
know
where'd
why-
you come from?
I don't know why they intended for you to do that. That was such a dumb decision. And now this next section is pretty annoying as well.
it can be pretty easy to die in some of these later sections.
Yeah.
Because of weird things not necessarily in your control.
All right, I should be able to make the tornado cycle if this part goes well. All right. Barely making it. So this will allow me to skip one of the tornadoes.
2 of the tornadoes.
Yeah, I would have skipped that one anyways. All right, so we're gonna swing here, and we're gonna jump off, and we're good.
Nice movement so far.
So here at the start of this section, I'm gonna go for this cool little long jump to try and skip these first 3 planets.
Skip that one, skip that one.
All right, I didn't get all. You can go all the way to that planet, but it can be pretty tricky.
Every single planet here has its own gravity field, so it's really weird platforming around these. As you can see.
Yeah, I also was trying to beat that Magma out. All right, I'm gonna wait for this guy because he's probably going to burn me. And for some reason, if you hit that crystal on the left side, it's much easier than if you were to hit it on the right.
That was pretty good overall.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad of a stage. Dying there is really the worst thing you can do.
And get comfortable with Melty Molten because we'll be doing all 3 stars here.
That's Galaxy 1. This is Melty Monster.
Melty Monster, I'm sorry.
It's okay, I run this game and I do the same thing.
Earlier, there's Starshine Beach, which I called Beach Bowl Galaxy, which is from the previous video game. But it literally, if you look at it, it's a beach in a bowl.
Yeah, and funnily enough, even though it's called Melty Monster, that's the only star in the level that has lava in it.
Yeah. The other
Yeah,
ones
the
are
rest of
bowling.
it's based on bowling.
All right, so this next star I'm going to do Melty Monster 2. We used to actually do the stars in a slightly different order than this, but it's a little bit faster to do Melty Monster 2 before Secret because when you show up on the star select menu for the 3rd time, only 2 stars appear instead of 3. And this star is basically all about using Rock Mario. Once you go on a ramp with Rock Mario, you can't actually stop. You just kind of have to keep rolling. So you basically just keep rolling from beginning to end. This is actually a really good place to farm star bits. If you don't have an SD card and you need to get some star bits for your Bank Toad file, this is a really good place to get them.
This is Sludge's favorite star.
Yeah, it's Sludgy's favorite star in the whole game.
I hate this star.
Are you not a bowling fan?
I've lost runs on this level.
I've lost runs to bowling.
All right, so yeah, and whenever I do jumps again, I'm going to be shaking to speed myself up, which saves a few frames each time I do it. And there is a strat I'm going to go for at the end of this level, but I'm only going to try it once because it is pretty risky. It's called Zigzag Skip. And basically, the name kind of implies what you're doing. There's a section with fences that you need to bounce off of normally, but you can just kind of ride across the tiny gaps in the middle and make it. So I'm going to call for some serious time here. Easy every time.
The hard part of that can be trying to align yourself to move forward again after you start to go to the right, because if you don't do that, then you roll off the right side.
And you die.
Yes.
The classic, it saves 3 if you get it, and you lose $1 million if you miss it.
Yeah, and it's 2 hours, and it's 2.5 hours into your 3-hour speed run.
Oh.
The fun thing is, even if you hit those the bumpers that you're supposed to do, it can still kill you if it just like knocks you to the side for some reason.
All right, so now I'm going to do Melty Monster's Secret Star, and I'm going to select Melty Monster 2 because you start closer to the pipe in this star. So this is the last time we'll see the chimp in this run.
Fun fact about this star, if you go through the pipe and then come back out, you see a giant, like, void in the background, which is where you are right now. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah.
I want you to go back and show us.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
That's not fast. So there is a strat, and speaking of things that are not fast, there is a strat you could go for on this star, but for the sake of the marathon, I'm just not going to bother with it. Basically, you would do a spin jump onto the ramp, which deactivates the ramp and allows you to jump at the very edge of it, and you can jump off the ramp and land on the next platform and continue rolling. As you can see, I'm stopping after every single one of these ramps. You can actually avoid that. It saves a couple seconds each time you do it, but they're essentially blind jumps. And if you miss them again, you're very likely going to die. So there's 56 pins. I need to hit 50 of them. I am going to intentionally skip 3 of them because that would require waiting right here. And right now, I've only missed 1 pin, so that's really good. 5,000. Yeah, that's a bit of a mucka S.
Live on the edge.
Viper, I'll give you $1 to leave and look at the black void. I just want to see
I'll
it.
give you $1 actual dollar.
I'll give you $2. How about that?
Just 1, though.
$3. Why are we bidding on this? We want the same thing.
Dang it.
All right, so now we're done with Melty Monster, thank God.
Yes.
And we're going to be moving on to Clockwork Ruins in order to get some access to a galaxy that might intrigue a few of you. So, yeah, Clockwork Ruins. Clockwork Ruins Run 1 is about 3 minutes long. Don't want to do that. So we're instead going to opt to do the Secret Star, which is...
Really fun.
Yeah. You basically have to collect 30 coins to feed a hungry Luma, and it's pretty obnoxious because you have to go across these platforms that are moving, and if you die anywhere, then the cycles will be different and they won't be as fast and you won't be used to them, so it's just awful. And well, thankfully, once you collect the 30 coins, the star is basically done.
This level sucks.
It does. All right, so...
It's just so awkward moving on these platforms.
Yeah, they change from like wall to slope in very weird ways. Sometimes it's really hard to tell what you can stand on and what you can't.
And once again, like 2.5 hours into the run.
So you can go for a strat here where you can like triple jump, grab that coin, and then have enough momentum to make it to this section in time to get an extra coin from here, and then skip having to get coins from the last section, but that's just way too risky for me to go for at a GDQ run. And I looked in first person there to advance the cycles of the platform after this one, so that I can make that a little bit easier. All right, here's a cool little triple jump I can go for.
I didn't know you could do that.
Okay.
Nice save.
I usually go for a spin there, and then you can just get 10 coins from this item box, so that makes the star a lot easier. All right, I'm gonna grab this as my final coin, and we're gonna get over here, talk to this hungry Luma. And now again, the star is pretty much done. There's just one more thing I have to do. So you're supposed to, on this planet, it's another one of those planets where you have a bunch of hammers trying to crush you, and you're supposed to hit these switches to slow down time. But once again, this is a skip I would also recommend for beginners. Not because it's free or anything. It is actually easy to die to this if you don't know what you're doing, but it's not too hard once you figure it out.
I didn't realize that there were switches over here.
Got it.
Nice.
No. That was a really good star.
Yeah, that star really sucks. You did a good job.
That level predicted the Nintendo Switch.
Good.
We were supposed to say that in Space Storm 2.
We forgot.
God, did you forget the script?
Yeah, I think she was on the wrong page earlier. That's all.
It happens.
All right, so thankfully we don't need to get any more stars from that galaxy because that galaxy is slow other than that. But now we're going to go to a galaxy that some of you might recognize. Do we have any Super Mario 64 fans in the crowd? Woo!
Yeah, well, Mario 64 stole a level from this game, so.
Yeah, so this is Throwback Galaxy. This is, as you can tell, a homage to Whomp's Fortress from Super Mario 64.
I'm glad they realized Bomb Battlefield sucks. And they did the one that speedrunners spend all their lives in.
Yeah, they should have done like TikTok clock.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That would have been awful.
That'd been too hard.
That would be terrible with the physics of this game.
Fun fact, I also run SM64.
Yeah, he has a
Plus, I don't know, you had a 49 and 70 start.
Yeah, so this is going to be my best cheese impersonation right here. Unfortunately, though, the movement isn't nearly as flashy.
Hey, you didn't need that tree back there. SM64 runners need the tree.
It's true.
So I'm going to go for this little triple jump spin here to try to get up to this ledge, and I made it.
Beautiful.
So there's a shoot into the wild blue. We're going to get up here, and we're just going to try to triple jump, wall jump up here.
I didn't know you could wall jump off that bottom platform.
I didn't either.
All right, so you can actually skip killing this Whomp, but no. It involves doing a really, really stupid clip where you basically jump and you basically stand where the Whomp, like at the edge of where the Whomp will be when it's about to crush you, and then jump right as it lands on you. And if you time it just right, you can actually clip through the floor and skip killing that Whomp, but it only saves like 3 seconds, and if you miss it, you die. And unlike SM64, we can't clip through this guy.
God, that would have been the greatest Easter egg of all time.
If you want a really cool video to watch, you can look up the task for this level. It's really entertaining, I think.
And I actually do not have a very fond history with this guy. One time in mid-2017, I did a relay race where I did this game, and I died to this. I was on like huge PB pace, and I died to this boss twice without grabbing the checkpoint.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it sucked. I had like a high 307, and I was on like 305 pace. Also, I got a kind of high jump there because the King Whomp is vibrating. If you jump at the right time, you can just go super high, and it looks pretty cool. And also, he has the same text as he does in SM64, except if you die to him and then refight him, he starts stuff, and then he's just like, wait a minute, I've already said this, let's just fight.
Imagine if in Mario 64 you could go to the bottom of Whomp's Fortress and find that arena. That would be just like the biggest long con of all time.
Star 121, baby.
All right, I'm good on comet medals.
Has anyone ever looked?
Good point.
Let's call Panenkoek, you'll know. And this is the last time Lubba's going to bring us to the bottom of the starship, so he's not going to really be bothering us anymore after this one. He's going to want to bother us one more time, but we'll get there. Also, I have 1,800 star bits, so now I have enough for the last Hungry Luma Galaxy.
Thankfully, because isn't that next?
It's after this star. Mm-hmm. So this is Throwback 2, where they decided to pay homage to SM64 DS. You know, if anybody wanted to remember that game.
Hey, I love that game.
Okay, there's some people who remember that game.
It's good on Virtual Console.
Yeah. So they didn't price the silver stars in red coin positions like they should have. They just threw them around the level and then gave you Cloud Mario, which isn't that bad because there's some really cool movement in this star.
I love using that guy. That's cute.
All right. So for this first silver star, this second silver star, I have to be pretty careful because if I make my cloud too early, then I actually miss the silver star, and then I have to wait for that cloud to expire. Because ground pounding to break a cloud is not the smartest idea right there. All right. So we're going to see a bit more cloud boosting here to get to this next silver star.
Yeah.
And now we just got one more series of jumps to do. All right. That was pretty good.
Oh, the most important part, did we line it up?
With the
If I wait a little bit, I can maybe make it.
Oh, get it. Oh.
Close enough.
You get another chance.
Yeah. That was a pretty good level. Yeah. So now we're going to take the bottom path to get through the rest of World 6 because the top path has a galaxy called Battle Bout, which
is great.
And has Fiery Gobblegut, which is just amazing.
It sucks. And we avoid it in any percent at all costs.
Yeah, World 6, unfortunately, just has a lot of pretty slow galaxies where it inspires us to just go and try to fill out the 70-star count with other worlds. But we're going to take the lesser of two evils going this bottom path.
Can we give it up for the last hungry Luma we have to feed?
Oh, and look at him, the big Chungus, eating.
I thought I backflipped a little early there.
Transform.
Yeah, if you go a little too early, he will just stop eating.
And you can land on the button before he's finished eating, and then you have to call him again, like I've done more times than I care to admit.
Ugh.
I've done that a ton also.
Yeah. So next up, we're going to do Flash Black. This level has another cool gimmick where the lights flash in the mansion periodically. So you only see get a brief glimpse of the mansion and the level every few seconds. But I've played this level hundreds of times. I know the layout of everything.
Well, aren't you impressive?
This level's pretty fun.
Yeah, it has some
It
pretty
is.
cool strats that are difficult to execute. But unfortunately, the first part of it's pretty slow because we have to use Blimp Yoshi, which, as we all know, is the most exciting thing ever.
It's better than Beat Mario.
All right, whatever. We'll just do that. So yeah, you can read like one quick donation here.
All right. We have $5 from Stamina Board 219. Was planning to wake up early to avoid the heat wave here in France and took advantage of it to watch this awesome SMG2 run. Love this game.
All right. Okay, I thought I was going to hit that Goomba there. So this is a pretty cool strat if I can get it, but let's see. All
Rip Yoshi.
right. It's fine. I was going to ditch him anyways. I actually was going to ditch him anyways. And see ya. Still better than my practice run earlier. All right, so now I have this last section here where I just have to collect 5 silver stars. It's pretty straightforward. You can probably fit in another donation.
All right. With $30 from Ace Kage, Bowser Jr. was last seen in Mario Plus Rabbids. It's also the game that proved Bowser is the best dad. Called the kid just to check if he finished his homework.
Would you look at that?
That game's not canon. Don't disprove my theory.
I was like, I know you know this stage. I don't know the stage that well, so I was a little scared on that jump.
The literal definition of a blind jump. All right, and now we get a pretty good Resident Sleeper level, which is honestly a nice break because this will be the last normal star I collect in the entire run. And by that, I mean the last star that isn't a comet. And also, this will be the star at the last comet medal I get. And it's basically just 2 minutes of swimming underwater with the shell. It's not very good. But again, in this run, it's a nice breather because you have so much action-packed stuff and you need a bit of a calm before the storm part of this run.
And it's faster than Battle Belt.
Yeah, the only reason this makes the cut is just because it's faster than Battle Belt.
So there's a slope boost I'm going to go for at the beginning and a cool strat at the end. But yeah, you can just go crazy with donations for the next like 2 minutes.
I'll be delighted to. We have $100 from Henrik109. I have played Octopath Traveler for 92 hours. I didn't even know you could pet a dog. $30 from Mr. Shadow Ant. Fantastic set of runs tonight so far. Not sure how long I'll be able to stay up, but I'll certainly be trying.
Yeah.
Got the last slope boost?
Congrats, you hit the one strat in the level.
Well, there's technically 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. One at the beginning, one at the end. Sorry, you can keep reading donations.
No worries. JKB Scopes 123 gives us $5 saying a $5 dog pet hype train made its way to Australia, so here's my chip in. Pet that doggo! We have $200 from Anonymous. Nothing much else to say there, but thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you.
Anonymous has a lot of money.
Deep pockets on that one.
The deepest. $200 from MCP who says, thanks again, GDQ.
Yeah, go cop for that. I don't mind. I'm not doing much.
Okay, we have $500 from Cold Candor 33. Who says, no! Somehow I missed that this was already happening. Gotta make up for lost donation time. On the bright side, I already put in for vacation tomorrow. Heart GDQ and all the things you do. And $5 from Tiny V1 King. Greetings from Sweden. Galaxy 2 is such a nice game. Me and my girlfriend have put way too many hours on this game. Shout out to my colleague Kento who introduced me to GDQ. Much love to all SGDQ 19 crew and runners.
All right, let's see if I can get this. This strat, you need to have pretty good lineup for it, and you need to have decent timing. This looks good.
Yeah, nice.
If you missed that, there's a shell right next to you, so you don't have to, you don't lose that much time.
That's why I was always so scared to go for that if I throw it off the end of the planet.
And isn't this a nice atmosphere right here?
I love this part of the level. It's so beautiful.
That's pretty gorgeous.
I wish we could just stay there.
All right, so the last 6 stars I'm going to be getting before doing Bowser's Galaxy Generator are all comets. I'm going to be getting 2 from World 3, 2 from World 4, and 2 from World 6. And that'll get us to 70 stars. And I believe I've also collected every comet medal, so that's good.
32 comet medals.
Which you need to spawn a Bowser's Gravity Gauntlets comet. And, all right, so we're going to start off with a Honey Halls Comet in World 3. I could have done this star way earlier, but due to routing nonsense, that's way too complicated for me to explain right now. You need this to be kind of a filler star so that we can spawn a Beat Block Comet and a Gravity Gauntlet Comet. And this is basically the last half of Honey Halls 2, but with Cosmic Clones. It's still just a bunch of long jumps. And yeah, you could probably do some more donations here.
All right. We have $20 from Eurochan. Been watching for many years, but it was only after getting to attend that I realized how much work goes on behind the scenes. So shout outs to everyone on screen and everyone who isn't. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, GDQ people.
Thank you.
We have $5 from Zelly5465. I want to be part of the Pet the Dog donation train. No dog shall go unpet. $200 from Tolo Hawk. Yeah, glad for that. Says, super excited to get in my donation this year. Special thanks to all the staff and the runners for this amazing event.
All right. So yeah, that star is pretty straightforward, literally, for the most part. But just like Honey Halls 2, if you mess it up too much, it can go pretty badly. All right, and next up we have Beat Block Comet. So this star outright lies to you. So it says that the blocks now switch in double time, but if you remember, in Beat Block 1, they switched every 8th beat. They switched every 8 beats of the song. Now they switch every 2 beats or every other beat of the song, so it's actually 4 times as fast. Thankfully, this means cycles don't matter too much, though. But obviously, you still want to go as fast as possible to save time, but...
They also
This
give
time
you
you get Yoshi. Oh, yeah.
We're so insane.
I even was
think alike.
thinking, I was like, should I talk about Yoshi? Nah, someone will talk about Yoshi.
We read the same part of the script.
So yeah, Yoshi's in this first part.
Yeah, he's not in Beat Block 1, but for whatever reason, he's in here, which is all right. We'll just use him to Infinite Flutter and then dump him in a pit like we always do.
He's also a Twisty Trials Comet for some reason. I don't know why they added him into those levels.
I am not moving straight for some reason. Oh,
Galaxy's really good at doing that.
all right, let's see if I can nab this checkpoint for safety. Oh,
Checkpoints.
I am a little nervous now.
Checkpoints are for weenies.
You'll be fine.
All right, I just have to play really safe here. All right, if you mistime that long jump, you can bonk easily.
Nice.
You didn't play that safe.
That's about as safe as you can play it.
Right. Yeah, there's a certain point where it's going so fast, you just kind of got to go with the flow.
Yeah, and once you get thrown off, you just start panicking, and then you mistime a jump, and then you bonk on a platform, and then you die. It's awful. You can actually fall through the blocks if you don't land on them, so that's fun. And now it's time for one of my least favorite stars in the run. So you're doing attempts. You're about 2 hours and 50 minutes into a 3-hour run, and it basically all comes down to a skip that's super finicky and can just kill your run if you mess it up. So in Gravity Gauntlet 1, I did a strat called Behind the Castle. Here, you're going to get to see the other skip that you can do, which is actually a little bit faster than Behind the Castle. And most people find it easier, but the thing is, you have to do really precisely timed inputs while in the air in order to actually land. It saves about, I don't know, it loses about 35 seconds if you miss it. But obviously I'm going to go for it until I get it because it's one of the coolest looking strats in the entire time, in the entire run. Basically, if you boost off of a lava wall and then hit the lava again, you get a huge amount of horizontal distance, and you can use that for a gravity exploit. Also, like I said, this is one of the best songs in the game, so we get to hear quite a bit of it. Wow, I did that in my practice run. And I'm using these flames again to just boost me up here. All right, so once again, I'm going to call for serious time once I get this, once I start the skip. So I'm just going to long jump right in here, and we're going to pray.
Looks pretty good.
I was too far to the right.
A little bit too far to the right.
I don't think I held left for long enough. You're supposed to switch from right to up left, and you have to do this at very specific intervals.
This skip has killed many a run.
Yeah, I can speak from experience. I'll actually explain that after I get it. But again, I'm gonna go for this until I get it because this strat just looks too cool. That should work, maybe?
Yes.
Nice.
In there like swimwear.
We'll take it. Yeah.
A fun thing is if you land too far up, sometimes you'll just fall through the floor and die.
Yeah.
We don't really know why that happens, but it does.
Yeah. You can kind of prevent that in a few different ways, but it sucks. And I once lost a PB-paced run to that happening 3 times in a row.
Wow.
Very fun level to watch.
Yeah. Second try isn't too bad for a marathon. I'll take it.
Yeah, super interesting that star or that galaxy has become. There's 2 completely different ways to skip over that entire chunk of the level.
It's amazing how someone found it, too.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have a couple of breather stars. We have most of the late game run enders out of the way, so now we get a couple of breather stars. Starting with this star, which is a joke.
Yeah, we talked about that Comet Medal we picked up. That was probably the most out-of-the-way Comet Medal here in Starshine Beach, or Beach Bowl, if you're me. Yeah, you just need to go get 100 purple coins with Yoshi dashing around.
There's 140 in this level, so it's almost impossible to fail unless you're super bad at the game.
I have failed this once.
I think I have.
I think I failed it like
I
a
guess
couple
you're
times.
really bad at the game.
Unless you're really bad at the game. I was not arguing with him. I was just stating facts.
So yeah, this star is a little difficult to do optimally because you have to make very tiny adjustments on the control stick in order to not miss too many of these purple coins. So far, I've only missed 1.
The reason you don't want to miss very many is because you skip a big chunk of it if you're trying to go fast, which we should see.
Yeah, you want to have a bunch by now. 87.
All right, I'm gonna start with this line first.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
I was a little scared there, but
Actually, perfect.
we
count.
made it work.
Yep.
And that star grab can be a little awkward, but that was still pretty good. So yeah, if I didn't have enough purple coins there, I would have just stayed on the left side and continued grabbing more coins. And then maybe I've done a little bit of a shorter cut. But yeah, so now all that's left to do is 2 stars in World 6, Throwback Comet and Flash Black Comet.
So done with Worlds 1 through 5 now.
Yeah, and Throwback Comet is up next. So if you thought Throwback 2 was a fun star, you're going to love this star because it is almost the exact same thing.
It is the exact same thing.
Let's say, I feel like this is the only instance of the game where it's actually the exact same star. There happens to be a timer at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, although the one main difference for this star is that there is cycle differences at the start because the intro cutscenes show different parts of the level. And so the first cycle that you're about to see here is somewhat harder to make. But yeah, you can just spend the next minute reading donations.
Alrighty. We have $5 from Nikolai. Woke up at 6 a.m. to not miss the Super Mario Galaxy 2 run. Awesome so far. Greetings from Germany.
All right, so I missed this cycle, but that's not a huge deal because I would have had to wait for these platforms anyways. You can keep going.
Alrighty, $50 from Raiden Tiger 177. Greetings from Switzerland. Longtime watcher, so happy to wake up in time to see part of the SMG2 run. Thank you for the fun moments and the wonderful cause. En route, oh God, I'm sorry, I don't speak French. En route pour 2 millions.
You did better than I would have.
I think you
thought
did
that was
great.
pretty good.
I speak Spanish, not French, I'm sorry.
I don't speak either.
I used to speak Spanish. I used to take Spanish, and then I dropped out.
I feel like everyone's got that story. I got through what was required for me to graduate.
I willingly took a third year of Spanish and regret it. All right, so that star's out of the way. And now we get to move on to the final star of the run, which is actually a pretty interesting star because it requires the talent of being able to multitask. So there's 30 Octumas that I have to kill, and there isn't really a special gimmick for killing them. You just kind of have to kill them all on a timer. And you have 3 ways you can go about killing them. You can either jump on them, you can spin at them, or you can shoot them with a starbit and then kick them. And for the most part, you're going to be seeing me shoot them with starbits and then kick them.
Nice star count, by the way.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty difficult because you have to be able to collect starbits, aim them, fire them, keep track of your starbit counter, and control Mario all at the same time. So assuming that this goes well, which hopefully my pointer won't screw me over too much, this should look pretty impressive.
I imagine a task of this would look ridiculous.
It would.
It would.
Because again, if he does all this optimally, Mario basically never breaks stride because you can just run into them. Obviously, he still has to pick up some star bits.
Yeah, or my Wii remote could just not cooperate. It's fine, though. There's other ways you can kill them. Thankfully. I'm gonna kill this guy for a coin, just to be safe.
Plenty of safety coins.
That elevator's there for literally no reason.
Ooh, barely got that one in there.
And you get Yoshi at the end of this level, and Yoshi can actually eat enemies. I would like to be able to get this guy. There we go. All right, there we go. It's very scary there because the Octumas can just knock you off the stage with no hesitation.
All right, hardest skip in the game coming up.
Oh, yeah.
This one's ridiculous.
Okay, shout-outs to Oddme, because...
Was it Oddme who found it?
It was Oddme who found it.
Yes.
He was just messing around one day. Hi, Oddme, I think you're watching. I hope you're having a good day. All that. Shout-outs to you. And also, speaking of Oddme...
Join the 602.
Yes, I was going to plug the 602 real fast.
Sure.
Oddme does that. He leads it. He's the organizer. Basically, it's Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy 2, 100% back-to-back. It's one big race. Takes like 22 hours if you're good. And yeah, you should watch it.
Everybody on my couch has done one. I have not.
We need to get
Okay,
Viper
yeah.
quiet for this. Oh, that's hard. It's hard to skip.
Yeah!
It might not have looked like it, but I just saved 35 seconds. So basically on that space before the Galaxy Generator space, there's this really long cutscene where Lubba tells you it's the final battle and gotta get ready and stuff, but I've had enough of Lubba. He's bothered me too much this run. We are skipping right past him by just clicking on that Galaxy Generator space with the Wii remote.
Oddme was just messing around and he found it.
Yeah.
It's great.
And Sludgy was the first person to do it in a run.
I'm famous.
Real fast. This next 602 happens on July 6th, so watch it. I'm going to win, maybe. I don't know. It's possible.
Baby.
Maybe.
This level is super fun and really cool.
This is such a fun final level, yeah.
There's a really cool lava boost coming up here. This is much easier than the one in a Gravity Gauntlet, and I'm probably still going to fail it, but we'll see.
Normally got to defeat these 3 Hammer Bros, but for whatever reason, if you hit this wall at the right position, you get a ton of speed and are able to get all the way down there. Nice stuff.
All right, so here I'm going to lose the spin drill on purpose, just because I want to be able to long jump and also spin while after jumping. And I basically can just skip over this entire section.
Usually they want you to drill through a bunch of these things, but that's boring.
All right, this next planet should hopefully look pretty stylish if I can get the movement properly.
Pretty tough. Oof.
No.
Oh, gonna chain it off the dry bones. Good stuff.
All right, I messed my timing there, so the bullet bill would have gotten in my way. All right, I'm gonna wait. Oh, I actually made it. That's cool. I can do a Cloud Burst at the start of the next section.
Is that a backwards ledge grab?
That was weird.
Yeah.
I don't understand this
You
game.
usually can't do that.
All right, so now it's time for what I think is the most impressive looking Infinite Flutter in this whole run. But it's one of the more daunting ones as well. It's a pretty difficult one.
You skip a giant Yoshi section where you like kill enemies and use the dash pepper and go in an auto scroller and
Bless me.
It's okay. I forgive you.
instead of doing all that, we just flutter.
Oh, hold on.
He's gonna jump off.
Oh, can we get to the
It might be top
floor?
shelf. Might be top shelf.
Yeah.
Free.
That's really hard to get there.
If you go too high, you'll get caught up in the gravity field of the previous planet and just spiral around it infinitely, so you have to leave the level. Also, you can hit 2 of these locks at once if you're really precise, but yeah. Yeah, I forgot about the orb.
Or
And now it's time for the final Bowser fight, which is the worst late game run ender ever. This fight sucks. And
it's the hardest version of the fight.
yeah, I have lost a lot of good runs to this fight. So Bowser does go back to dropping 3 meteors, but there's still shockwaves, and he is a lot faster to pull out his punches.
Yeah, you get to this point in the run and feel like, okay, I just nailed that massive Yoshi flutter. You should feel like the run's basically in the bag.
But it's not. It's far from over. You have 4 Bowser hits, and they're all pretty difficult to do. You have very little time to react. It's just horrible. So, again, I'm just going to run up here so that I can dodge Bowser's punches, because, you know, it's hard.
There is another punch cancel here that he's gonna try to do.
Yeah. All right. So again, I'm going to wait here until he starts a punch attack. Oh!
See, that's
that
what we were
shell-
talking about. That
I-
shell is huge.
I hate that shell.
It's awful.
I'm going to call some BS. What was that?
That would have hit on the
Yeah,
other
That
fights.
should have hit, absolutely.
It's okay. It's not a huge deal. Just your run being over 3 hours in.
That was the exact same
Yeah,
spot.
I don't know.
don't care.
It wasn't really.
I'm trying to help you here.
All right, but it's not over yet. The 3rd and 4th hits, Bowser pulls out his fist insanely quickly, so it is far from over. And another thing that can happen is if you actually hit Bowser too late, you can hit him while he's summoning the meteors and cancel that phase by accident. So once he actually puts his fist into the ground, there will be no meteors for you to hit him with, and you lose another 20 seconds.
This fight's not fun.
Yeah. It's so nerve-wracking when you're on PB pace. Barely made it there. Yeah, you have to be really quick on your feet there. All right, but there's just one more hit left. Thankfully, it doesn't matter if I get this hit late, because then the fight will be over. All right, one of these 2 meteors should be fine. This should be fine. There we go.
Nice.
All right, now Bowser's.
So Bowser's dead, right?
Yeah, Bowser's dead.
That's it.
That's how
He'll be done, right?
Dream over.
He's gone forever.
Well, let's see about that.
He can't recover from down there.
He's going to join his son.
Well, I mean, Bowser Jr. didn't fly into a black hole, or whatever that is.
We didn't see where he went.
So there's the grand star, right? Right?
We finally got the last star in the game, Star 71. It's great.
Hey.
Let's get ready. All right, here we go. It's time to nab that star, get that cake, and
What?
Plot
He's
twist.
back.
Find a skip for this.
Oh,
I don't think that star has a physical hitbox.
Get around the trigger.
I wish.
So this seems intimidating, but this fight's actually really easy.
It's pathetic. You just press A and Z 4 times and you win. This has like the most epic music in the game, but you only get to hear it for like 20 seconds. And Bowser's one attack drops a coin, so it's literally impossible to die. All right.
I didn't even know
2. There's 4 hits.
that. Orb.
Orb.
Orb 3.
And
Final orb of the game.
there we go.
Orb.
All right, so time is actually going to be coming up in about 50 seconds, I'd say. It'll be when I touch the final Grand Star. I gotta say, this is not a time I'm very satisfied with, but this was a very fun run. I'm very glad I got to do this. And I got to show off a lot of the major stuff, so whatever. Hey, not now. There's like 30 seconds left.
Make sure you let Peach say thank you.
Nah, I don't need her. So there's just one long jump left. Yeah.
How did she get on the Grand Star?
I don't know.
Where did she come from?
You know, how do you mention?
I never even thought about that.
All right, so get ready on time. It's going to be when I touch the Grand Star.
3:12 or 3:13?
3:12. And time. All right, still ahead of estimate.
Heck yeah.
Not my worst marathon run ever, actually, believe it or not.
I got to give big props to you because you were doing that with a finicky sensor bar the whole time, and that doesn't just screw up the pointer, it can screw up the motion controls as well.
It can make you drop a lot more inputs.
Yeah, so I thought that you did a really good job adjusting to that.
Yeah, I've actually had a worse run than that, believe it or not. But now, I believe we have a donation incentive to do. Is that right?
Yes, indeed. The perfect run has been met.
Woo! Better character.
So yeah, as Sludgy just said, I will be doing this run as Luigi. Give it up for him.
Yeah.
Luigi.
So imagine you're at the end of a 22+ hour run. You've collected 601 of these MacGuffins in the Mario series. All of a sudden, you have to end on this thing. If you have 1 health, you get hit, you die, there are no checkpoints, you go back to the start.
Or if you're like Oddme, you get IRL, then you have to leave on the 600 second start.
Now.
I'm sorry, Oddme.
That blows my mind that actually happened.
He
All right.
hates that. I'm so sorry, Oddme.
All right, so here we go. Are you going to do a timer for this, or?
There's an IL timer, right?
All right, whatever. Let's just go ahead and get started.
3, 2, 1, go.
So you can actually, I'm just going to skip the cutscene here because it makes this way more favorable. The cycles here at the start are way more favorable. We got these little infinite flare strats to start off here. They don't really save that much time. They just kind of mitigate most of these cycles.
Hopefully the pointer cooperates.
Really nice first section.
It's not over yet. There's 6 of these bad boys I gotta go through. So it's actually faster to keep Yoshi after that first section because, again, since he walks a lot faster than Luigi, it just makes this section a lot faster. And as you can see here, I can just walk across the gaps like this. I don't even have to jump until right here.
Drop Yoshi off the edge.
Well, I am gonna ditch Yoshi here because I have to ditch him at the start of the next section anyways, because I can't have Yoshi and Cloud Luigi at the same time. Oh yeah, if I take 1 hit, I go all the way back to the beginning of the level. Let's not forget that. All right, so let's see here. Okay.
Good music, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, this is all Galaxy 1 music.
That's why it's all good.
I didn't make the joke this time.
Ha, ha, ha. It's all really good music, actually.
It is.
Yeah, so I have these 2 clouds here so I can do this.
Yeah, skip over some of those annoying laser sections.
So here we're going to be using Polestar momentum to actually make this next section a little bit easier. So, like I said, when you release yourself from this Polestar before you reach its center, you gain a lot of momentum. So I'm actually going to try to use that to gain a vertical momentum. And to skip over some of these lasers.
I thought you were going to hit the Goombas.
So again, drop down, flick him way up in the air, say no thank you.
And 1 section left.
All right.
This is the hardest
so hard.
section. This is the hardest section, the Hammer Bros and Boomerang Bros section.
His goal is to get to the end and take out the 3 Boomerang Bros.
Yeah, you only have to kill the 3 Boomerang Bros, contrary to popular belief. But I am going to be killing a couple other Hammer Bros to make my life a little bit more manageable. All right, so I'll kill this guy, and then I'm gonna kill this guy over here so that he doesn't get in my way while I'm taking on these, and I'm going to kind of take on these guys one at a time.
Don't forget
Okay.
the Comet Medal.
Ha, good joke. Even though I've already done Grandmaster 1 on this file.
Oh, they're out of sync.
It's better now than it was in practice earlier.
Oh,
All right, and here we go.
Yo, let's go. First try.
There's Rosalina.
It's Rosalina.
Oh, and fun fact, there's a 1 up here.
For the next level that you have to play.
And there we go.
There we go. GG.
All right, so that was Super Mario Galaxy 2. Just a few quick shout outs I want to give. First of all, obviously, shout outs to the Super Mario Galaxy community. It's a great community. Don't be daunted by the games being pretty hours long. They're really fun once you get into them. As you can see, there's a lot of really cool tricks that are really satisfying to pull off. Definitely join the Discord if you want to run either of the Galaxy games. I believe there are links on the speedrun.com leaderboards. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Somewhere.
Yes, I believe so.
So go crash the site and
Don't
try
do
to join
that.
the Discord.
Don't do too much.
Also,
I'm not
more shout outs I want to give. Shout outs to my family for being super supportive and being able to get me here. Shout outs to all my friends back home. All of you are probably asleep right now, but I love you all, and I can't wait to tell you guys all about this when I get back. And shout outs to GDQ for letting me show off this game. It's been a real honor, and it was actually a lot of fun, even though the run had some to be desired. So yeah, I'm done, and I will throw it on over to the host.
Woo!
Thank you so much, Super Viper, for that incredible Galaxy 2 run. I'm going to be remembering that one for a good long time. Coming up next, we're going to have ourselves Pac-Man World, so stick around for that one. In the meantime, let's jump right back into your donations. We have $50 from Mogsy127. Dogs, cows, I'm making a list. Money goes toward pets and that level that definitely doesn't exist. Speaking of those, that secret cow level is currently sitting at 3,754 of the 40,000, so that one's got a way to go, and it's only 3 games away, so we need to work a little bit harder on that one. Otherwise, I fear we may not be seeing those bovines. But Octopath Traveler Pet the Dog, however, is doing very well. It is at less than 800 to go to pet the dog. Petting the dog is so close. Sure, boys. I'm sorry? All right, we have $20 from Anonymous. Oh boy, I get to talk. I love the sound of my voice. Hopefully more people donate so I can keep talking. Boy, do I love this smooth, silky sound. And all right, friends, we will be back momentarily. Just gonna hear a few words from one of our sponsors here. See you in a few. And hey, we're back. Hope we didn't keep you waiting too long. We have $10 from Ultra Uberness, donating for my friend Crunchy Lex. Thanks for all the help everyone does at GDQ. Donation goes to Crunchy's choice. Hey, Ultra, how you doing? My choice is the cow level. All right, speed friends. Well, we have been to the end of the universe and back together. But with a heavy heart, I must admit, I'm gonna have to say goodbye for now. So everybody out there, late night crew, everyone out there watching, I love you all. Don't ever change. I'm leaving you with the one and only Smooth Operative. Till next time, friends.